see one of these players fall from the ranks here. They definitely all deserve to be in the bracket stages, but there just isn't room. There's just too many good players out there.
Yeah, too many good players, and we're about to see these four go at it right now. So it looks like we're starting off in Super Metroid. It'll be interesting to see if any of these players decide to go down to for the 2 items in Super Metroid, but more than likely we'll see a lot of these players go to Link to the Past. We see 3 players already going for that. Total looks to be on his way as well, so could be interesting to keep an eye on Total, because he is the developer of this randomizer, so you may learn some inside secrets from him. And I know Wild helped a good bit with some of the logic as well, so maybe he can help us understand some of the moves that are made from all of these players. I mean, all these players have earned their right to be here. They are 4-1 in the tournament. Solsky and Stryzer being 5-0. Congratulations to them, of course. But
yeah, that's no easy feat.
Exactly. 5 long Swiss rounds. But looks like we have a little bit of separation from these players going off in a few different directions. hcfwesker and Breakdown heading to Uncle, checking out what's going on here. Can get a couple quick items, can check the pull trees. Nothing too exciting. SuperNinTaylor in Total kind of heading north towards the Lumberjack Cave. SuperNinTaylor finding some rupees out of the tree there. Pretty nice find.
Yeah,
for investigation. Yeah.
Yeah, we did see a power bomb already from Uncle, so that's really great. Setting them up, getting some kind of way to destroy bomb blocks early in Super Metroid is really nice. So it just allows you to really fully explore everything from the get-go instead of having to pass things up.
Now we did just scout that there is a sword in the Lumberjack Cave.
Oh, baby.
Which is really interesting because you kind of need a sword to actually get that in the first place. But that might mean, swords may be hard to come by as well. Since that one's kind of hidden behind Aghanim. You do need to defeat Aghanim in order to access that. You also need to have the boots. And in order to get into Aghanim's tower, you need either 2 sword upgrades, the lamp, or you need the cape, 1 sword upgrade, and the lamp, logically, to access that item. And then you also need the boots in order to get the item itself. So right. it's a bit crazy.
Oh. But speaking of swords, though, there's a sword in the drop down there. In the Lost Woods that NinTaylor and Total both got right now. And of note, Breakdown actually got really lucky. The bomb farm, the 2 bomb bushes just south of the flute kid, the flute boy, he got both of them. So he's got 2 bombs going up into Kakariko right now.
That's fantastic. I love, utilizing the information in the game, knowing where the drops can be, because there's only certain bushes that will have a chance to drop those bombs, and it's a 50-50 chance. So, good on Breakdown just to try this route going south. It takes a little bit more time to farm, but can be rewarded by being able to access these on the first visit. SuperNinTaylor did manage to get a bomb as well, so we're going to be seeing Blind's House from him, which does have a glove upgrade. Ooh. The boomerang here, a lot of money, which can be used to buy some of those bombs. Full heart there, and we'll see what's in the back.
And it looks like NinTaylor is really gambling on picking up bombs somewhere else along the way in blinds or in the front of well, so he doesn't have to go down and buy them first. We saw Total decided not to take that chance. He just went straight down. He came in from the top of CAC and went straight down to go buy his bombs first, and he's just going to work his way back up. Whereas Breakdown, go ahead, you use his 2 bombs, 1 to get into the chicken house, and then his second one to get into this bomb farm area where there are 4 bombs under these pots. Really smart play by him, again, just using all of the resources at his disposal, and really pushing his luck advantage that he got where he got those 2 bombs.
Yeah, really cool to see all these players kind of take different approaches to what they're doing. I think we're going to see Wesker here head to buy bombs as well after doing some scouting. I mean, remember, he has checked the Uncle item as well, so he has that information and does have those power bombs. Now, we did also find Spazer Beam in the back of Blind's house, so that's an interesting beam upgrade. What do you think about that, Wild?
I mean, you know, in the speed run for Super Metroid, it gets a lot of flack, but like in Randomizer, it is pretty nice to see because it is more damage. Does make things, you know, a little bit easier, especially if you're going a long time without a lot of other beams. So it is a nice thing to have.
Yeah, definitely. We did also find some super missiles over in the well, so we're kind of decently geared once we do find Morph Ball for Super Metroid. They can't do a lot there without Morph, however. There's the 2 items that they can access in Blue Brinstar, and if they are willing to take some risk and go through the dark rooms up the mountain, since they do have that glove, they could access 1 item in Warfare. But I guess we should take a step back and explain kind of what's required in order to complete a combo randomizer seed. And that is, you know, completing all 7 of the crystals in the game. Looks like we have 3 crystals in the light world there, displayed by a total of 5, 6 crystal up in Hera. But you need to beat all 7 of the crystal dungeons, and it's randomized which ones are pendants and which ones are crystals. So we'll have to check the Dark World map later to understand more about that. And then you have to beat Ganon's Tower and defeat Ganon. That's the requirement for Link to the Past. And then for Super Metroid, you have to beat all 4 of the major bosses, and then beat Mother Brain. Go through Turian and beat Mother Brain. So that's what we're working towards in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like the Dark World is going to have a lot of information for it. It's going to have all 3 pendants, which when you map in the Light World and you see all crystals, that could be a really good sign, because you could get some really awful Dark World dungeons that are just like, you know, either they don't have a lot of items, they're tough to get to, they take a long time, whatever. They could be pendants, and you might not be able to, or you might not need to go in them at all, which could be really nice. So we'll be looking for that. We've got NinTaylor using his gloves now, getting into the back of the escape. It's the first time heading back here. Got some missiles, a heart piece, and a key. So it's looking like he's actually going to brave these dark rooms and go check that crossroom chest.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of these players make plays that aren't necessarily in logic, and, you know, meaning you're going through a dark room without the lamp, and you just have to navigate through there. That's not required by the game. The game will provide you the item at some point in order to traverse through here, but players can, you know, feel free to use minor glitches like going through dark rooms to break the logic and access items early if they wish. That's exactly what SuperNinTaylor is doing. Looks like he found the key from the rat in that room, which is kind of the trickiest thing there, is the RNG from those rats, and he is moving right along. Having that sword helps a lot with this section.
Absolutely. Any dark room you're going to see, like a sword helps so much in navigating dark rooms. The puffs from the boots also, you'll see people use those as well. But a sword, I think, is probably the most beneficial, easiest way to track yourself because of the sword sparkles. Looks like just an E-Tank in there. Total, unfortunately, getting knocked in, like ping-ponged around by these mini Moldorm and knocked down into the pit. That's really unfortunate, because that's quite a ways back there. And there are 5 items that we're going to see breakdown. Check these items here. Of note, we did also find another pack of power bombs. We have a shovel as well, and Morph. Wow, okay, so we need to find another pack of power bombs inside the dam, and with those extra E-Tanks and Morph, and with the supers we've already found, they're pretty much good to go to check all of Brinstar and heading on down into Norfair once they get into Super Metroid. That second pack of power bombs is very significant, because going through with just one really impedes your exploration and the speed with which you can check the items in Super Metroid. But with 2 packs, you still need to do just a little bit of farming, but you are able to check everything on your first run.
Right. That is an extremely critical item, and I'll be interested to see who decides to pull the trigger and go to Super Metroid first. There are some, you know, kind of lucrative areas still available in Link to the Past. Like, they can go into the Hyrule Castle escape and check a bunch of stuff in the front. they can go over to Eastern Palace and check Sahasrahla or dive inside Eastern. It's a bit of a gamble, you know, spending the time going into Eastern Palace when you don't have the bow and can't complete it, because you kind of want to do everything you can on your first pass, like Wild was saying in Super Metroid. Same holds true in Link to the Past. You want to be able to have the items that you need in order to get through. So, again, we'll see if anybody decides to go for Super Metroid early.
Absolutely, and there are a couple of out-of-the-way checks that are in logic now for A Link to the Past, too. The shovel is one that all these players are now picking up in Mini Moldorm Cave, but also Zora is available with those gloves. So I'm not surprised that people aren't doing this. As you said, there are quite a few other locations to check. Now, we do know, however, that there is a map in the front of Escape and only 2 items in there. So that is that one location, and like you said, Sahasrahla and Eastern could have up to 6 items available for them there as well. Now, if it were me, I would probably go check like Sahasrahla, bail, and then go into Super Metroid, because there are just like infinite items to check now with the items that they have.
Right. It could be valuable to find, you know, some sort of another beam upgrade or something that could, you know, help them through, or speed booster, or space jump that gives them like can fly access, or you know, those are the kind of things that you really kind of could gamble for, you know, going into Eastern or going over to Sahasrahla or whatever it is. You know, Agana's Cave is on the table, Zora, as you mentioned. Ooh, Wesker taking an unfortunate death in front of Ice Rod Caves. The crabs do 2 hearts of damage, and we'll see if he decides to go back for it at another time, or maybe just decides to skip it altogether.
Yeah, but we did get another power bomb pack in the Ice Rod Cave there, so that's 3 packs. That's just like absolutely optimal. All the power bombs you could ever need. So they are good to go. We see Breakdown and followed closely by Total, hot on his heels, going into the front of the Escape there. So again, we know because of SuperNinTaylor that because he did that dark room, we do know that there is a map in one of these 3 chests in the front of Escape, and two other items. So I'm curious to see what those are going to be. And we do have Wesker actually breaking up the mountain.
That's really interesting. So, you know, especially with Morph Ball, we can go into Norfair and check some of the items there. Now, without the Varia suit, many of those items are not going to be in logic, and we won't even be able to get to certain parts of Upper Norfair without, you know, bombs or space jump or high jump or speed booster. But of course, that Varia is going to prevent us really from getting in there. We can do Hell Runs, which are basically passive damage taken in Norfair, but I don't suspect any of these players will focus on that.
Yeah, it's really early. They did get quite a... I think we've got 3 E-Tanks already so far. Stun prizes, bombs, actually. That's really good. But they have gotten quite a few E-Tanks, and so, you know, that could be something that they might consider. But again, like, Brinstar is just wide open. There are so many items there. It might be worth it for Wesker to like pop in, see what's at like the high jump location, and then go back to Brinstar.
Could also like go up the elevator towards Kraid or Spazer, kind of investigate that area as well. And you know, that's one of your objectives. You got to take out the 4 bosses, and Kraid is one that, you know, most players can easily defeat early. So we'll see, you know, how much Wesker wants to push this. But I kind of like the play, investigating these 3 quick items at the very least.
So there is another E-Tank and a reserve there. Looking really nice for some potential hell running there. But again, like you said, though, that is illogical. Not going to be required, progression-wise. But having those E-Tanks, though, just early is just really nice. You know, in case you do need to go into, like, a wrecked ship, for example, you know, without any suits, where, you know, like Fantoon and the spike platforms and everything are doing a bunch of damage. You have a little bit of a buffer there.
Looks like we've learned that the green pendant is over in Ice Palace from our buddy Sahasrahla there. We're going to get a check on these chests in the back. More money. Holy smokes. That is a lot of 300s. They found 3 so far. Now, the logic won't say, hey, you found a bunch of money, Zora is required. The the logic expects you to be able to farm money or bombs, or I guess arrows or something if you have the bow, in order to, you know, get through. But, so, like, Zora could be worth, but it's not a high-value play right now when they have all of Super Metroid to explore.
Absolutely, and it's just so much better to combo it once you get like flippers or like Dark World Access and Mirror, so you can do those things plus like Catfish or just do all the other water stuff all at the same time. But we do have Titan's Mitts though in Kraid's lair, so the play that you were saying is coming up here, exploring Kraid's area is paying off there for Wesker. Doesn't really help right now, but it's just one item away from Dark World Access. Just needs that Moon Pearl.
Meanwhile, Breakdown has, in my opinion, a really big find there in the first chest in Eastern. Those are Morph Bombs, which does allow access to certain locations, logically, and, you know, may be hard for some of these players like Total and SuperNinTaylor who are in Super Metroid right now to gain access to a couple items like the Criteria Power Bombs that are over by the ship where Total is. We can see Total doing some wall jumps that are actually out of logic in order to access these items. So, you know, those bombs do put those in logic, but he doesn't know that yet.
All right, he doesn't know that it is in logic with the bombs there. But he knows what's in logic and what's not. Total and I spent multiple sessions of many hours fine-tuning and then refining because we found mistakes in the logic for combo, for both normal and hard mode. So, if anybody knows what's in logic, it's definitely Total. That's for sure.
There's the vanilla E-Tank up at the gauntlet. Wesker had a really nice Kraid fight, by the way. Quick kill there, so always great to see. And we got Breakdown heading through some more dark rooms. Gonna be going towards this Eastern Palace vanilla big key chest, which I believe has the big key. So he'll be able to access the big chest, but unless that's the bow, we'll not be able to finish this dungeon. I'd say the Morph Bombs are worth. Yeah, vanilla bow.
Oh man.
Could be great.
Ooh, really great. Oh, okay, so there's high jump boots there in a really hilarious location in the ceiling E-Tank in Blue Brinstar, but there's also a secondary sword for Total at Terminator. So those are really great. So those high jump boots, just such an amazing movement item for Super Metroid. Speeds you up tremendously.
There's another E-Tank at Spazer. Wesker sitting on 7 E-Tanks and
oh my god,
it's pretty nuts. And
oh, wow.
Ice Rod in the big chest of Eastern. Man, Eastern coming up with some goods here.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so there's a hammer. All right. So we found mitts, we found hammer. Where is that Moon Pearl? My goodness.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big one to help us gain access to the Dark World in Link to the Past. Otherwise, kind of in trouble. Another E-Tank there behind the Brinstar Reserve there, along with the Redarang sitting right there on that Chozo statue. Really interesting. Looks like Wesker is going to be going back into Link to the Past. Can't really make any more progress from here, but he did get those mitts at Kraid early, so I can't really do anything right now, but it'll be interesting to see how he uses that information and where he routes from here.
And interestingly here, Breakdown at 230 missiles just found our first bottle.
Yeah. I believe SuperNinTaylor did pick that up earlier. And there was another bottle at the Crumble Bridge in the Green Brinstar early Supers area.
Oh, well, yes. Either way, though, yeah, that's gonna unlock
his first bottle. Yeah.
Yeah. And now, seeing SuperNinTaylor do all of this Brinstar backwards is really interesting to me. It's not something that you see very often from people, at least that I see, I suppose.
Maybe it's not backwards for him, but
maybe.
Yeah, it is really interesting. I guess it's
there it is, though.
Oh my goodness.
The Moon Pearl. Okay, so SuperNinTaylor, he's got the Dark World access now. The first to do so.
But he doesn't have the mitts, which is kind of in a more or less easy to get location. Nice sports spawn skip there.
That was a setup I had. He was very close to the wall, which I didn't know you could actually be that close. Interesting. Breakdown about to grab his second sword. We're going to see some sort of high five here from Total and SuperNinTaylor.
Yeah, I think so. And looks like Wesker's going to be rewarded with those morph bombs by making this play into Eastern, and hopefully we'll follow through and get the ice rod.
Yeah. There's another E-Tank at the top of the Sprint Star. This is ridiculous. They're finding, like, literally every single E-Tank.
There's only 14 in the game, so yeah, getting a lot right now. 2 shield upgrades? That might... Man. Getting all the protective gear.
SuperNinTaylor here actually did another thing that's not in logic there. Gate glitched that wave gate. Basically, if you line yourself up against the back wall, you can jump and shoot a super missile diagonally to the right, and it can go through the gate and open it up from the opposite side. Normally, you do need wave beam for that, and logically, you do need wave beam for that in the normal mode difficulty. Only finding a couple of A Link to the Past bombs there, however.
Yeah, and having high jump with the route that he decided to go on actually helps that setup significantly.
It does,
really
yeah.
Nice.
It is possible to do with or without high jump. It's just without high jump requires just a little bit more of a precise setup.
Looks like Total is farming up some supers here. Definitely a great idea if he wants to execute that wave gate as well. Breakdown heading down to the Edicoons area. Total about to find that Moon Pearl, I think. Oh, he's got to do the wave gate, yeah. And we'll see Wesker brave these dark rooms now. Should be pretty fun. Sword and 5 hearts. It's not too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that sword really, really helps with the dark rooms. It helps you navigate and know exactly where you are. You can see Total actually doing the high jumpless method for that, nailing it, though. Excellent. All these power bombs that the players are finding are making everything look... It's so nice to see. You know, not a whole lot of needing to farm for power bombs, because there are only a handful of places that are convenient to farm for power bombs in Brinstar. Namely those B-toms that we just saw SuperNinTaylor go by, the little jumpy froggy guys that latch onto you. Other than that, you know, your next best bet is going to be like the fire fleas. Going to like the missile refill in Green Brinstar, but both of those are in the same place. So if you're going, so actually, interestingly, SuperNinTaylor coming in the back way. Now that I think about it, it's really interesting because he's able to then refill his power bombs on the way out instead of doing it on the doing it on the way in. Interesting, but he does need to actually watch his health there. He's beneath 100 energy, and Wesker clearing those dark rooms, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, getting his morph bombs and his ice rod there, and heading on out, see where he decides to go.
Yeah, but I mean, with that Dark World access, I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody, you know, soon, maybe after they've gone down and killed Kraid, or you know, maybe we'll see SuperNinTaylor do that after he gets back towards the ship. You know, go into Link to the Past and check out the Dark World, because, you know, there's Hype Cave, there's Village of Outcasts available. It's a lot of stuff to explore there.
There's a lot. There is a lot. Absolutely.
And then there can be some sequence break opportunities as well to head towards the wrecked ship. That's another option that these guys could do, but logically, they do need grapple, speed booster, space jump, SM bombs and gravity.
Spring ball.
Spring ball, yeah.
Any one of those myriad combinations of items will get you across there. I really would like to see that. Somebody. But, I mean, like you said, though, Dark World is their oyster, as we say, or their clam.
Indeed.
And Total finding his Dark World access now.
And he's likely going up the elevator towards, you know, the criteria area, so maybe we'll see him jump into the portal and go check out the Dark World.
Yeah. Now we are seeing Wesker actually check the criteria power bombs location, like you said earlier, with those bombs that SMZ3 and Total were unable to do because they did not get their can fly from Eastern.
I really like this play. You know, you went for it, and you're going for an exclusive location, and whoa, rewarded with the bow of all things.
Oh, so why is that funny to me?
It's hilarious because you had to go into Eastern to get those bombs to come back to Eastern and use that bow. Now, you know, without the lamp again, we can't logically complete the dungeon, but we've seen these guys go into dark rooms already, so we know they're not afraid to sequence break there.
Right.
But that is amazing. Now, there could be other items that provide that can fly access that aren't morph bombs that these guys could find along the way, and maybe SuperNinTaylor will find one coming up in Hype Cave, so we're going to get probably a Dark World map here soon, and 5 item checks in Hype Cave, so can we get some hype for Hype Cave? I'm excited.
Yeah. The more hype that we get, the hyper the Hype Cave items will be. So let's see. But yeah, Space Jump, Speed Booster would also allow access to the those items up at the top of Criteria Power Bombs here. Breakdown getting his Moon Pearl. We have Screw Attack in Hype Cave from the sky. Some supers are good. A Magic Cape. And X-Ray. Interesting. Okay, so that cape is unlocking one item for us. And potentially, actually, Spike Cave. It's Spumper Cave and Spike Cave there with that cave.
Yeah, definitely, since we have found a couple bottles. Looks like we get a map from SuperNinTaylor, Skull Woods, and Swamp Palace with blue and red pendants. Ice Palace we know is green. And 5-6 was over in Thieves Town, one of the dungeons we can actually full clear right now.
That's great. You know, it's always nice to see Thieves, a crystal, especially a 5-6 that can be completed already. Looks like Breakdown got a mirror somewhere. That's important.
I don't think he did. I think he got the Moon Pearl.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, yeah. Okay, we fixed it. It's been remedied. Anyway, I was gonna say. So yeah. So Thieves is really great, and I think a Hera being that other 5-6. We are unable to get there. A hook shot or a mirror will get us there, and then we could turn in that big bomb. And we are gonna see Total going to wreck ship. Oh, that's so good. Oh man, gravity at the moat. That's just so timely. Look at this.
Yeah.
And
he could just like use high jump, I think, and like wall jump up there.
Yes,
right?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. But he's not.
Interesting.
Wow.
Maybe he's gonna push into Meridia because he's going down Red Tower now.
Yeah. All right. This is I don't know what to say about this.
It's a super interesting development.
Yeah. This is like, if he's going into Meridia, this is a huge gamble. This is him saying there are a handful of items in Wreck Ship, but there's like double the amount in Meridia, and I'm gonna assume that Wreck Ship has nothing. But it's just like, I don't know. I can't in my mind justify this play, but that's just me personally. I would love to see this pay off for Total though.
I mean, maybe he's just going down to Kraid anyways. I mean, he could do that first before making the call to go into Meridia, and he gets 3 item checks here at the top of Red Tower. So, you know, you do get a good number of item checks, and going into Wreck Ship can be dangerous without Speed Booster, because there is an item at the Wreck Ship Reserve that is Speed Booster locked. So maybe Total has some reservations there.
That, I mean, and that's totally legitimate as well. That could be the reason why he's deciding not to go there right now. But, you know, he also might be thinking, you know, other players might not have wanted to go in this direction because they didn't have logical access to Wreck Ship. But then I found gravity here, so maybe, you know, I go push this gravity advantage. You know, like whenever you make a gamble or do something that you think that the other players aren't doing and you find something of value, you typically want to push that advantage, because if you're getting something that other people aren't having, you might be able to get access to other things that they wouldn't have access to as well.
Definitely. Breakdown did finally get the damage boost to get those high jump boots, so props to him. And we're going to get some Village of Outcasts action from SuperNinTaylor. Not messing around, just checking out these areas, and hopefully we'll see some Thieves Town. Now, 4 hearts Thieves Town, that can be a bit dangerous. A lot of the enemies can do like 1 or 2 hearts of damage, and that blind fight, if you get off script, can be pretty tricky. But I imagine we'll see SuperNinTaylor jump in there. These guys are really good at both of these games, so I expect no less.
Breakdown has bombs, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah, so he could use those. Those would be the logical way to get the ceiling item. The damage boost is a little bit tricky and not logically required to get those that ceiling item there. A grappling hook, interesting, or grappling beam, I should say. And Total going straight into Kraid. I really want him to go into Meridia.
That could create a really interesting narrative. Kind of scout out
the
first part of Meridia.
Yeah, notably the first part of Meridia. The problem with going into Meridia right now without speed or ice is he doesn't have access to the back part of Meridia. But finding his mitts now, that might change his mind. We'll have to see after Kraid here.
Yeah, you got a Master Sword, Hammer, Mitts. I mean, you got to be thinking about Thieves Town right now. You don't know what the requirements are, like maybe Thieves Town's a pendant. We know that it's a 5/6 crystal, which makes it a little bit better, because if you get both 5/6 crystals, and then you can have access to the big bomb and get the 2 items at the Pyramid Ferry. Now, we did find Varia Suit in Thieves Town just now, Wild. What does that mean for us?
Oh, that is incredible, particularly with the bombs and the high jump and whatnot. That's going to allow you to do all of Upper Norfair. There are quite a few items to check there as well. So Super Metroid is just continuously getting opened up wider and wider and wider here for these players. We're missing, you know, either we're a space jump or a flute away from access to Lower Norfair.
That's insane.
So once we get that, basically Super Metroid is just completely accessible. We're also we'd be a flippers away from accessing the back of Meridia as well. So that's something that is of note. Like if Total does decide to go to the front of Meridia, again, he can only check the first half of it. If these players do get, or if Total does end up getting the flippers, then he would be able to access the back half via the Dark World portal.
Another thing that's kind of tricky about Meridia, and even Lower Norfair to some extent, but mostly Meridia, is there are a number of speed booster locked locations there. There are some ways to access a couple of those in Aqueduct without speed booster, if you know the techniques, but not logically. So, you know, that might make it a little bit lower value as a play. And then down in Lower Norfair, there is an item that's space jump locked, which is kind of interesting. That could make that play less attractive, but you know, you have to do these things anyways. In order to beat the game, you do have to beat Dragon, you do have to beat Ridley in Lower Norfair. Now we have Total doing some hell runs for us. He's got plenty of health. So
he just has literally infinite health. This is fine. He's gonna be okay. But it's cool because we haven't seen these items yet. So there are two here. There's that one that's the Ice Beam location, and there's the underneath Ice Beam location. Wesker doing a nice D-boost there. He's going to go up and get his hammer as well. Total's going to check this lower item for us. And I'm curious to see if he's going to decide with 9 E-tanks plus, I think, just 1 reserve. Still, though, infinite health. I'm curious to see if Total's going to continue on into Norfair for us and check the rest of these items here. Or what he's going to do. Go back into Link to the Past, maybe? Because he hasn't been in Dark World at all yet, I don't think.
Yeah, doing these hell runs can be a bit tricky because you have to, really keep an eye on what your health is at the time and try to find places to farm or, go to the energy recharge station in Upper Norfair in order to, refill your health and not die. So it can be a bit time-consuming, and knowing where Varia is right now, we know that, you could save a lot of time getting through these sections, but we'll see the play that Total makes. He spots the E-tank there, may consider using that as a nice refill to work through this area even better.
Exactly. That's always the nicest thing to see right before you start a hell run. Oh, hey, look, an energy, just a convenient refill here from this E-tank. All right, I'm good to go, Yeah, I didn't think that power bomb was high enough. He did not kill the Sova. You do need to kill it in order to get out of this room. The power bomb was a little too high there. But now I'm curious to see what Total's going to decide to do. Looking like he's going to go back into Link to the Past. Can't fault him for this. Staying within the logic there, not doing any more hell runs deeper into Norfair. He's got tons of stuff to do in A Link to the Past.
Looks like SuperNinTaylor, after a really nice blind fight, has jumped into Skull Woods. We did see Breakdown check out some of the stuff. And it looks like SuperNinTaylor setting up a really cool bomb jump here to get to this big chest. I love it.
Well done. Total navigating his dark rooms to get his old man. We know Breakdown's about to find his Varia. And I'm interested to see here, Wesker now has the option of doing that wreck ship play or heading back into A Link to the Past.
Yeah, he's got the mitts and the hammer, which Total does have those mitts, but SuperNinTaylor and Breakdown do not have those mitts. They have not been to the crate area yet, so it'll be interesting. Like, when you find all those items, it's kind of appealing to go for it, but it looks like Wesker is continuing.
I mean, there are a couple items here he does need to check still that he hasn't, like bombs. I don't think he got morph bombs.
Wesker did.
He did. Okay, so
he was the first one to check the criteria power bomb location.
Yes.
So hey, look, he's stuck in bombs and has to fight Bomb Tree.
Because he has bombs. Got him.
Yeah, the trigger for that fight is having bombs.
So I really hope that he goes into the wreck ship. I would like to see that. That is going to require a continuous wall jump, though, which is a frame perfect into a 2-frame.
If he finds gravity, he
He
can actually bypass the.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because gravity
requirement and just bomb jump up or wall jump out.
Or wall jump, yeah. With high jump, you can just wall jump up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're right, it is logical. I just forgot that gravity was just so conveniently right there, but it looks like he is going to decide to go back into Link to the Past. Again, like the legitimate decision. Personally, like I prefer to stay in Super Metroid as long as possible. That's just my own preference.
But I can see the value. You have the ability, as long as you can traverse those dark rooms, to do a full clear on Palace of Darkness. 5 items there with the bow and the hammer. Remember, he's the only one who's found the bow at Criteria Power Bomb, so he can like push that advantage, check out Hype Cave, and run over to Pod and just see if he can find even more advantage to keep moving his narrative along.
Oh, interestingly, he does not have Master Sword, Wesker. he did not get his second sword at Terminator.
Oh.
So he
must
completely
not have peeked his head in there.
He completely skipped it. Now that is actually not like that's a little bit more common than you might think. When you go from like Criteria Power Bombs into Gauntlet and come down out of Gauntlet, like the back of Gauntlet, you typically, you know, it's very easy to just continue on down into Green Brinstar and not go backwards in one room to check the Terminator item. So it completely slipped his mind, which is understandable. Unfortunate for him that there was a sword there, which is of more import because we know of another sword at Lumberjack, so that one's basically out of the question completely. So if
Unless he can't find one for a long time. I mean, they have found the cape as well, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, so that's bad because I mean, typically what you'll see is players will complete A Link to the Past first, then go back and do Super Metroid. So unfortunately, if that continues to go unchecked, he'll find that sword after he's completed A Link to the Past on his way to Mother Brain.
Another fantastic blind fight, this time from Breakdown. Looks like Wesker is pushing up into Village of Outcasts. Certainly a reasonable play. He'll be rewarded with his various suit if he does enter Thieves Town there. So seems fine to me. And he might even give us some of these Mitzlock checks as well. We can save and quit with the dwarves. We can check hammer pegs. We could save and quit with the purple chest as well. So there's some interesting options there. You can see a lot of these players are kind of like-minded, kind of just flipping back and forth between locations. Like SuperNinTaylor has now found Mitz at Kraid, and Total's jumping into Thieves Town. I think Wesker will join shortly. Breakdown just finished Thieves Town, heading south. So just kind of cool to see the different routes that these guys have taken, kind of ending up in similar positions.
Right, and it just kind of goes to show like the experience that these players have, like prioritizing the high density location. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So NinTaylor is in Kraid's lair. I can only assume that he's got the bow already. Total just grabbed his Varia suit. I do though want to see these item advantages being pushed, but they're not. The gravity by Total, the bow by, or I'm sorry, not the Titan's Mitz. I meant the Titan's Mitz, not the bow for NinTaylor. But I do want to be seeing these items advantages getting pushed though.
Well, I think SuperNinTaylor may be our first to jump into Upper Norfair because he does have the Varia suit, and so we may see some of that, which is pretty exciting. You can use high jump to get through there since he hasn't picked up the morph bombs in Eastern just yet. So there are a lot of items in Upper Norfair available logically right now, and if he so chooses, could make the lava dive down to Lower Norfair out of logic. Right.
Yeah, there are 13 items to acquire in Upper Norfair. So, well, that's excluding like high jump and ice beam locations. Well, actually, that would be 14 with the lava. I forgot to count the lava missile, but he's not. Or maybe he's going back to check Spazer first. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Or it could continue up Red Tower towards the wreck ship. That's another option as well. Oh no, Total taking a death there at the top of Thieves Town. Didn't quite get the room where he needed to bomb the floor, so he's gonna have to make the trip back, but I'm sure he'll be fine. The
little like lizard
Crickets.
guys,
yeah.
They do 2 hearts of damage too. Like it's tricky with the green mail, you know, like you gotta be careful. We are seeing Wesker though take that frog all around the world here. So we're gonna see a save and quit eventually, have him turn that guy in. I'm wondering if he's gonna do the purple chest as well, but he's probably gonna be taking a peek at the bumper cave before he does this save and quit.
I really like this. We're going to be seeing a Mitzlock check here. Unfortunately, Breakdown did have a death right before reaching the pyramid, so Did not get to see what that was, but perhaps he will return. It looks like he's heading in that direction again.
Yeah, only a piece of heart up on the bumper ledge. Total has gotten back up to the top of the... Oh, he forgot to flip the switch.
And
Okay.
with the grapple beam we found in Thieves Town, looks like SuperNinTaylor is going to be checking out what's at X-Ray. Really interesting.
Now, this is a check that is very, very easy to leave for a very long time and just keep neglecting it. It takes a while to get to. The item requirements that you need to get there safely are only a few items and usually aren't required for like anything else. So they could be anywhere and like very late in the game. And it's a dangerous area to try and traverse without those items. You know, like grapple or space jump really are going to be your logical access here. There are other sets of items that you could get to. You could even get to this item with literally nothing other than power bombs and morph. But, you know, nobody wants to do that because it's you know, you're gonna like have to save beforehand, or if you don't do that, then you lose a bunch of progress, etc. So, but we know that X-ray is not that great. Just some missiles.
Just some missiles. Looks like just 3 bombs over at the dwarves. So these kind of out of the way isolated checks are not paying off so far. We'll see if Breakdown is rewarded for heading towards Catfish right now.
Oh, another death for Total in.
Oh no.
Well, I'm curious to see what this Catfish play is. Another one of those checks that's just really out of the way that just can eat away at the back of your mind, or you completely forget about it. But even though just red rupees, yeah, even though big 20, you know, you can have peace of mind knowing that it's done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Now, with grapple, too, this might be the reason why NinTaylor's actually coming up this way, because he knows he has logical access into Wreck Ship. He's going to be rewarded with his gravity there and be extremely happy about that, I'm sure. But, again, I hope he goes in. I'd really like to see a Wreck Ship play. But again, though, like you said, the thing to be wary of is the lack of Speed Booster, as there is a Speed Booster locked item in the Wreck Ship.
The other thing I'm kind of worried about for SuperNinTaylor is he hasn't got those Morph Bombs. So if he doesn't get the Can Fly, he may isolate the Criteria Power Bombs that we see Breakdown bomb jumping to right now, which does have the bow. So that's going to be something kind of tricky to watch out for SuperNinTaylor.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And it's a location that can be easy to forget about, too. Like, late in the game. It can slip the mind.
One isolated location. It is right at the ship, but, you know, if you have a bunch of other places to go, you know, why bother sometimes, is what you say to yourself. And, you know, these players are trying to get some sort of advantage over the others because, you know, one of these 7 players has to go home. So we are going to see, you know, what gambles they make to try to put themselves ahead. I think SuperNinTaylor's probably feeling pretty good about going to the Wreck Ship, though. Grabbing that gravity suit.
And he's continuing. Yes! All right. Here we go. New territory. Let's see what we got for. And we see Breakdown doing these wall jumps to get himself into Gauntlet. He's going to get an E-Tank there. Total with this blind fight. A little off script here, but he's got full health sword beams. He's definitely fine.
Even got that red shield.
Shield
to block some of those fireballs. Pretty nice.
Yep. That helps a tremendous amount. And there he goes.
Nicely done, Total. Wesker about to get to the top of Thieves Town. Also pretty low hearts. Oh my god,
no way, dude! That's what you like to see. That's what you like to see. Going into an area knowing that you don't have the item to get with another item here and just immediately getting it. So so the SuperNinTaylor picked up Speed Booster, so that's going to allow him to collect everything in this area, and he's just going fast now. So that. Other than high jump, that's going to be like your next best movement item in Super Metroid.
And it also will give SuperNinTaylor, importantly, access to criteria power bombs. So he's getting through these segments of the game very quickly by just going for it, and it's really paying off. Loving it.
Breakdown hot on his heels too. He's going to find it very soon. He just got over the moat, getting a nice fast pattern there for NinTaylor.
Yeah, Breakdown, I'm sure, pleased to see Gravity.
Getting another fast. Unfortunately, not hitting Phantoon before he disappeared. Now, Total's we might see Total actually head into has he done Hype Cave yet? I don't think so. No.
No, I think that's where he's going right now.
Yeah, he's gonna do Hype Cave. Now he doesn't have the bow, but I'm wondering what his plan is after Hype Cave.
Yeah, Pod can be a bit of a trap right now. If you don't have the bow, you'll have to make a revisit. You can use a bottle glitch to access, you know, other areas of Palace of Darkness, pretty much the whole front of it, and just not the boss. But, you know, you want to visit things as few times as possible, and we know exactly where the bow is right now, and it's well within logic.
Right. NinTaylor, like one missile too early, hitting Phantoon with that, and another fast pattern. Wow.
Why are you so mad, Phantoon?
One missile. Just as Breakdown enters the Phantoon fight with his speed booster and Gravity now. Wesker on his blind fight here. Excellent. Oh, just that last hit was all completely unscripted though. Excellent fight there. That last
player's doing a really good job with blind.
Yeah, that last like 2 hits are like a little bit tricky because you're in that top left corner and there's a bunch of fireballs coming at you. It's all sorts of craziness. Yeah, so it seems Total was just doing his Stumpy check and Hype Cave. Curious to see where he's going now. Wesker, maybe he's going to do some stuff with the dwarves now too. Let's keep a close eye on NinTaylor as well.
He did dwarves.
Oh, that's
so
right.
Might be purple chest. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's pushing it. I like it. We are exploring more of the wreck ship here. Again, with that speed booster, we can access all the items here like very quickly and easily. You know, it can really speed things up. But Total's going to take Various Suit and head into Upper Norfair. So this is the first Upper Norfair that we're going to be seeing.
Yes. Okay. I'm liking this. Lava Missile is a piece of heart. Got another 13 items to check here. Now, I'm assuming he's going to go into Lower Norfair.
Well, the way this scene has been going, he's going to find Space Jump along the way.
That's true.
Probably.
And then he's going to turn around and, like, take it to Meridia or something. I don't know.
Oh, man. Which, interestingly, Dragon is in logic with that speed booster now.
Yeah.
There is a lot to do in Super Metroid at the moment.
Is speed booster a real boost in speed? Absolutely. By 2.5 times. Magic powder from Total there at the reserve. Norfair Reserve. 1 item location that unlocks and some safety.
Wreck ship E-Tank, just a reserve. SuperNinTaylor did save, so gonna reset. Makes for a nice trip back to the wreck ship main room to keep advancing through the attic and forward towards Gravity.
We had an Agana check too that I don't think we've seen yet by Wesker there, getting a green bottle.
Yeah, going for these kind of out-of-the-way checks, just knocking them off. It's something that's really interesting, you know, when you're in a race setting, trying to just get some sort of advantage over your opponents, like thinking, hey, you know, if something huge is here, you know, like that criteria power bombs check that he did early to get the bow, you know, thanks to his morph bombs, you know, those things can be really huge. So it's great to see.
Absolutely, and I think I think now is the time when he's going to be going into pod and really doing stuff with that bow that he got.
Certainly is heading up in that direction. But I've got my eyes glued on this wreck ship and upper Norfair checks to see if we get something big. We found the powder so far, and obviously, you know, wreck ship had speed booster and gravity on the way, but will there be more value to be had?
And it looks like Wesker's actually going to be doing that pyramid check instead of pod. I don't know. Pod, you were saying it earlier, Pod's got 5 items to check. It's a crystal, it's completable. Without the lamp, illogical, but it is doable, and it's a lot of stuff there. A number of these players have gone by it multiple times here. I'm a little interested to see why they haven't done it yet. Using X-ray.
Well, I think you're gonna get your wish. It looks like Wesker is heading in that direction.
Okay, all right,
So,
good.
I'm excited. A lot of new information here.
On just everywhere. Everywhere. We got Norfair, we got wreck ship, we got pod. You know, breakdown also resetting after seeing that reserve there. We have Quake at the middle ocean.
Okay, our first medallion, and we do have 2 crystals in the medallion locked dungeons, Misery Mire and Turtle Rock, so that is something nice to find, so that once you get there, then, you know, you're not locked out.
And
we do still need Red Cane in order to complete both of those dungeons. We haven't found the Fire Rod, which is important for Turtle Rock.
Extremely.
We need some way to get to East Death Mountain for Turtle Rock. So not really on the front of these players' minds, but definitely something nice to have for later.
Yeah. Medallions are always nice to see because, you know, you want to have at least, you know, 1 or 2 or optimally 3 before you head to one of those dungeons when you don't know what the information is, you know?
Yeah, so you have a chance to actually get in.
Exactly, and it's just like the worst feeling, Alu, when you are looking for your go mode item as a medallion for one of those dungeons and you just can't find it anywhere.
It can just take forever, yeah.
It's the worst. It's
the worst. Because they can be in so many places.
Basically anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so we were seeing Total do a gate glitch to get through here. Again, wave required here.
But Speed Booster actually is available in order to get access.
I was gonna get there, yeah.
Sorry,
so no, it's okay. So yeah, so the way that Total is doing it, there are 2 ways to get to Crocomire that would require Wave Beam. One way that would require Speed Booster through the bottom of ice, which Total doesn't have. But we do know where it is, so and it is available to him. So logically, what he is doing is okay. Did not find anything in the Resurrect ship, but I mean, gravity and speed booster, pretty darn good. So I'd be excited to see. Oh, Quake too.
As well.
Yes,
yeah,
Quake as well, right?
Breakdown's just picking up right now. SuperNinTaylor hopefully going up to those criteria power bombs to snag the bow.
Oh,
one
Total.
To forget.
Total does not have morph bombs, does he?
I don't believe so.
Oh, baby.
Oh, man.
Here we go. Let's see. So NinTaylor, okay, good. So you were talking about that isolated item here, and that Speed Booster was going to allow NinTaylor to check it. He does get his bow now, so that is really good for him. He's really good to go there now. So here's the exciting thing that we get to see with Total. He has no can fly, so that makes the pantry item, the item in the large room right before the grapple beam location, extremely difficult to get to. In other words, impossible. However, he has grapple beam, which is the vanilla way to get that item. So there are a bunch of rippers at the top of the screen that you can grapple onto.
Oh, he's just going straight for that grapple item. First try Green Gate glitch, again, an out of logic trick, but
yeah,
nails it, and he's going to be putting on his fedora and busting out his whip soon here for some Indiana Jones strats.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the way with Total's loadout right now, the grapple item and the pantry item are out of logic, but with the items that we know that that are available to these other players, we do know that it is logical. So here goes Total. So there are 4 rippers that you need to grapple onto. The first 3 are usually pretty easy because you can see them. It's the 4th one that's really tricky because you have to fly way off screen. Unfortunately, Total does miss that one. He doesn't have an easy way to quickly retry. He doesn't have spring ball. He doesn't have bombs. He can't like get back up to that ledge. He'd have to go all the way back around. Now he still can check this one last item here in the sign room. I'm curious to see if he's going to keep trying this. It's a lot of time every single time it's failed.
You have to green gate glitch and go all the way back around.
Oh, but the mirror!
It's the mirror! What?
Wow! Okay, so all right, let us know. What is that doing for us, Alu?
Whew. The mirror opens up a lot of interesting options, because now we can get up to Death Mountain. We can go up to Tower of Hera and complete that dungeon, which is a 5/6 crystal, and that paired with Thieves Town does open up the Pyramid Ferry. We can also, with the hammer in hand, head over to East Death Mountain and check a treasure trove of items. There are 8 items in the Light World available, and 2 more in the Dark World. We can see what the requirement is for Turtle Rock. They can also get to Spike Cave, although that was something they could do anyways. They are locked, however, out of 4 items in Hookshot Cave, but they can get the one on the floating island as well, with mitts and mirror in hand. Mirror also opens up a number of overworld locations, kind of in the main section of Hyrule, so we may see some of that as well, like south of Haunted Grove, Graveyard Ledge, and we may even see one in a sequence break coming up from Total here, as I believe we're going to see an out-of-logic lava dive to Lower Norfair, where we can gain access to Checkerboard and Desert Palace.
Yeah, that's an exciting one. So it's really cool the way that what he's going to do works here. There's a number of ways that the lava dive can be done. He's going to do a very easy one called the gravity jump. Essentially, when you're in a liquid, your initial like vertical speed values and the decay of those speed values are much lower than if you have gravity on. So what you do is you start your jump with a higher initial speed value with gravity on, and then as soon as you jump, before those can decay quickly, because they decay faster without gravity on, then you remove the gravity suit so that you have a higher value, a higher speed value, but a lower decay value. So you just fly up really, really far. Total did mess it up the first time, so he just went with the secondary option where you just do some wall jumps without gravity at all. So that was cool, showing us a nice backup there. And then showing us a cool piece of tech, saving a couple frames by on a down elevator, pausing right before you activate the elevator, and then you hit the transition a little bit sooner after the pause fades out, turning, because he does need to pause and turn back on gravity anyway.
I want to turn our attention quickly to SuperNinTaylor's screen here.
Yeah.
Checking the speed-locked section of Brinstar here, the Waterway, which is a really out-of-the-way location in Super Metroid. Just 10 arrows there, but a good check nonetheless that, you know, if had value, I wouldn't expect a lot of players to go for. So really interesting that he decided to route that in on a second visit over to this Brinstar area. We do have Wesker heading through Spike Cave as well, making good advantage of the blue cane here and the potions that they have. Total trying to get the green gate glitch.
He did not save.
This is a huge problem if he does not get this. He needs space jump to logically access and activate the statue. Oh, and that's all the super missiles there. He can advance further through Lower Norfair, but he still does need to find some supers in order to get through a green door further on. So I'm sure he's going to be looking for those drops. He can try to farm the enemies for them, but they can have a little bit tricky drop rates. Yeah,
and talking about the the waterway there. That we were mentioning a couple other item locations where, you know, you can just like forget about it and leave it. That's one that's usually always on the forefront of people's minds, but you never want to go back, even when you have access to it, because it just takes so long to get back there, and it's just one item location. So total here, that feels really bad. Not getting that gate glitch, and it's tricky, especially with that mirror. You know, there's just a bunch of other locations that he's unable to check now. He's gonna have to go back. What he could do is like, you know, go through like all the way through Franker Z missiles, and then go backwards like after Ridley, farming up more supers and whatnot. But I don't know. It's a tricky situation to be in.
What's even worse is he's not getting any super drops. So I'm sure he's gonna rely on these key hunters coming up here for that. But they can have rough drop rates. Maybe he'll find one here at Firefly, stepping over to Firefly. Yeah, in order to.
They've got about a 25% chance. The key hunters. He can use a power bomb to kill that Namahe there. Or
Breakdown finishing up Kraid there after grabbing some myths. He did a funny thing where he X-rayed it and he was like, "Oh, I actually want this." And we got Wesker jumping into Upper Norfair. It'll be interesting to see if Wesker decides to make that lava dive as well. Does have the equipment for it, but doesn't have gravity, so he'll have to use the wall jump method that we saw Total kind of use as a secondary approach. Still no super missile from those key hunters. Again, that is extremely critical for advancing through the Wasteland rune coming up.
There's a super there for Total, so he just needs one. Unfortunately, though, his metal pyrite kills are going to be a little bit slow. He does have plenty of missiles to kill them, however. NinTaylor heading down into Croc. He's going to find his mirror, and he's going to be able to check the pantry location for us. But most importantly, Breakdown are making his first dip into Meridia.
This is super exciting, especially with Speed Booster. You got Gravity. I mean, you're kind of beating all the bosses before you head down to Lower Norfair. You're not going out of logic. You're checking out, you know, everything kind of along the way. Like, I think he's cleared, with maybe the exception of Waterway, everything kind of up in Criteria and Brinstar and Wreck Ship. So he's kind of just knocking out the game from top to bottom, more or less. I kind of like the play.
There's something to be said for being thorough, you know? Like, it's good. That's the thing that has to be said about it. It's good. I think.
Well, I think it's overall been paying off a lot. I think, you know, we saw Total kind of bail on Wreck Ship, and with the Speed Booster location there, like, that would have sped up a lot of the locations, would have allowed Total to check that pantry item, you know, would have been confident pressing on through the Wreck Ship, maybe finding that Quake, stuff like that. So, you know, the gamble that Total's made here actually, I think, has not worked out in his favor. But we'll see as he heads towards this Ridley fight. Gonna have to farm a bunch of supers here because no charge beam. That's something we haven't touched on, Wild. Like, what's the significance of charge beam or having, you know, all these supers farmed up?
So charge beam is actually logical progression for Ridley. So it's somewhere, and no one has found it yet. But basically, Ridley is one of the bosses where there is he doesn't have any sort of like projectiles or anything that you can use to farm ammo. So whatever you go into the fight with, you have to kill him with. If you run out of ammo in the fight and you don't have anything else left, you can't kill him, and you have to reset. So Total does need to farm up. You know, he's probably going to go to 30 supers because that's exactly what it takes to kill him, and he's got a couple extra missiles to supplement, as well as power bombs too. So it looks like he's actually going to go in with 25, 25, 25, which is still plenty. He's probably going to open with power bombs. Yeah, each hit of the power bomb is going to do 200 damage. That's 1/3 of a super. And the power bombs can hit twice if you lay the power bombs and manipulate Ridley in the proper way. So he's just going to do this for a while. Probably going to use all or most of his power bombs to damage Ridley.
Now we did see a bullet dodge there with a full heart container at the pantry item. And while Breakdown picked up his 11th E-Tank in the watering hole.
Oh,
jeez. Guys are so healthy. Look at this. 10 and 11 E-Tanks apiece.
Yeah. Now we are about to see an aqueduct check. That was a missed super there for Total. He's got to be very careful. This aqueduct check, you do need speed booster, but you can also clip into here, as you alluded to earlier. And there's the last sword.
Okay, that's gonna be important, I think, for Wesker most of all, since he did skip that Terminator sword. Total playing it cool with the ammo there, I think has taken down Ridley, or maybe needs just a couple more hits.
He needs a little bit more. Ridley should be dead now. He was in his claws. He didn't pick him up.
Get baited, I guess.
Juked.
And we also got Breakdown saving there. So he's going to be checking out the sand pits prior to heading towards Dragon just to get a lay of the land. Maybe before deciding to come back, or maybe he'll loop around. Maybe we'll see a Shack tool check.
Oh my god!
Now, flippers may not be required in this seed in particular, because Swamp Palace and Ice Palace are both pendants. But there could be something important in there that is required in order for us to progress.
Right, well, or, the Hobo or Waterfall, which I don't think either of those were checked, plus Zora Ledge, too. Like, there's quite a few locations here that the flippers do unlock. Like you said, though, since Ice and Swamp are both pendants, it might not be required at all. But, there are a lot of locations. But the Red Cane, though, too, of course, is really good.
Right. Now required for both Turtle Rock and Misery Mire, so fantastic find.
Exactly. And that's the sad thing that, if Total does end up going back to Mire, we do know now that, he's not going to find it in Desert or in that Mire area, so unfortunately not going to be able to check that.
Looks like I think we're going to get that from SuperNinTaylor right now. He did manage to get that Green Gate glitch and is just farming up some supers, I think, for Golden Chorizo. This fight coming up, because without Charge Beam, that's kind of the right move to make. And we will see if anything is Space Jump locked. The item on the left in this room is locked behind Space Jump. You do need Space Jump to activate the statue to get to that item.
So Wesker, unfortunately, looks like he did not make the grapple. Or no, he didn't give. Oh, he's got bombs, so he's fine. So he's just gonna bomb his way up there, find his full heart, and then get his mirror on the way out. Total has one item left to check here, and then I'm interested to see what it is that he's gonna decide to do. Is he gonna bail on Desert Mire, or is he going to head back into Lower Norfair and go through that way? And we're gonna see now NinTaylor. What is that? Like Ether?
Ether, I believe.
Okay. For Mire there. So, knowing the rando, sometimes it just likes to throw the medallion that you need in the Mire shed. So we'll see.
Yeah, and with the mirror, he can check. There's Bombos.
That's just
wrong one.
Oh. Oh man. All right. Well, anyway, so there's the Bombos. So now they know that they're gonna, at the very least, like they have to find that last medallion. It might be required for TR, but you also could get into TR with the medallions that they have too.
Ooh, there's a tunic in the right sandpit, but looks like Breakdown not too happy about it. Total is going for the gate glitch.
Maybe he wants to go check the pantry item again.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't need to go this way to go back into Lower Norfair. So, and we know this is a bad idea.
But one really nice thing for Total is he has beat Ridley. Like, that's one of the longer bosses to get to. The longest, I would say. And,
yeah.
And traverse backwards, you know, through that Lower Norfair area. So that's just kind of off his plate. The only issue is, like, getting back to that mire area can be very time-consuming. We have to be a little careful here, Breakdown, because if you don't have
he's missing ammo, a lot of supers.
Yeah, to get through this bot wound. He has plenty right now, but you know, you can't miss too many, otherwise you will get soft locked in this bot wound room.
Yeah, the bot wound is the same situation as Ridley here. He's missing a lot. He's so close, but he's missing a lot of ammo. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, so same situation as Ridley there. If you come in, you got what ammo you come in with, you gotta use to kill him, and if you run out, you soft lock. You gotta reset.
Got something exciting here from Wesker, along with Wave Beam there at Botwoon E-Tank. Nice find for Breakdown, but he's checking out Hera and Death Mountain with that mirror. Pretty cool.
And looks like Total's going to be doing the same thing. Look, Total was just going. He didn't want to run the long way out of Norfair. It looked like, so he went the underneath way through bottom of Business Center is the reason he went that way.
And SuperNinTaylor checking out Desert Palace. We're not boots locked out of Desert just yet. If we do find the big key here on the right side of Desert, then we can complete the dungeon, but I don't think we have a fire source yet, so we actually can't, now that I think about it.
Right.
There's a big key. We're not boots locked, but and SuperNinTaylor says no to checking the other items here. I'm surprised.
Well, we know that there's an item.
Does he have the? Did he find the lamp or something? Am I missing?
I don't think so.
Mistakes might be about to be made.
Well, you know, there is a particular catchphrase when something can't be done.
Well, we'll see when we get to that point.
We'll see.
I've
hyped everybody.
May also be fire locked out of Hera. We found the small key already.
Uh-oh. Oh, no!
There we go.
Wow. Almost a save and quit from Total, but then realized...
got him, I guess, for SuperNinTaylor.
Oh, what do we say?
Got him.
Got him. Alright, fine. But, Total and Wesker heading on over to East Death Mountain. Like you said, treasure trove. Apt word choice there. Tons and tons of items. We have half magic up on the floating island, and that is accessible with the mirror. So that we might see that these players grab that.
Half magic is just so awesome. SuperNinTaylor trying to do wall jumps out of here, which is, I don't think is that possible?
No, it is not.
So he can use Speed Booster in the previous room to get out of here. Is that within logic to use Speed Booster in Golden Chorizo's room? So
there's no short charge required.
That's his only way here, because he doesn't have Spring Ball, he doesn't have Morph Bombs. I think he's a Spring
Ball jump would be out of logic for normal mode as well. So it would be Space Jump and Screw Attack or Speed Booster.
Wait,
or Bombs.
You don't need Screw Attack though. I mean, you can just use.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. You could if you have
power bombs or bombs.
Yeah. You're right. Breakdown frying a shrimp.
Trying to fry a shrimp.
He can still make it. No, not anymore. You can't. If you pass it, you can get a diagonal shot down there, but now he's just getting smacked around.
Oh, SuperNinTaylor just went back down. He got some super missiles and then he bailed.
Ooh, a space
jump. That's so good.
That is good. Yeah. Now that is interesting because that's the access. Well, oh no, it's never mind. Because they have, well, they don't have flute yet, so that's their access into Lower Norfair actually. Right now. Oh, there's Ether and Boots.
Boots
And net. And an air upgrade.
and a P.
But, okay, so the boots are extremely awesome. They're gonna. I don't think there was anything on the on the library.
I don't know if SuperNinTaylor checked the torch, but I think it has an item.
It should, because I know they found the compass and map already.
Yeah.
So
that's
Landmo,
interesting development as well.
Yeah. Landmo's got something as well as somewhere else. But we've got Wesker doing his dark checks now. Dark Death Mountain, total hot on his heels. I'm wondering if either one of them will get that half magic. Breakdown going into Norfair now.
Quake the requirement for Turtle Rock, so that wreck ship play
it's hurting Total so much right now.
Yeah. It's huge.
Not that he would be able to do anything in TR anyway, because he doesn't have Red Cane yet either. But he is gonna go get that half magic. Oh wait, he has boots! Oh right, of course. So you can check this first item here. Logically, bonking to that chest, just getting 50 rupees though.
And looks like he's going for this half magic. I don't blame him. It's such a powerful item. Just lets you, fry things up once we find the fire rod, or use that blue cane or cape for a long amount of time. Good safety.
Particularly for Wesker too, with only one sword right now.
Mm-hmm. Breakdown is heading towards Plasma now after taking down Dragon. He's been making really steady progress. That's 3 Super Metroid bosses down. But I know SuperNinTaylor is working on it. He's about to head through Lower Norfair. Nothing of real value here in Lower Norfair, but still a great play nonetheless. And we know that with the space jump, that puts all of Lower Norfair in logic. SuperNinTaylor doesn't know that, but we do.
Okay, so those boots. There are 2 additional locations. Looks like Wesker's going to be checking those immediately. There's the Bonk Rocks location and the King's Tomb. So he's got those 2 to check. And then
looks like Total's doing the same. He's checking the Bonk Rocks and Wesker's checking King's Tomb. Simultaneous checks
just
here.
Instant gratification for us viewers. We're not going to have to wait. We're just going to know both of them are bad.
Alright, where are you guys going from here? That's the question.
A Total is not checking King's Tomb.
Interesting. Maybe he's going to pair it with Graveyard Ledge later, since we do have the mirror. It's not a bad play.
Possibly. Yeah.
And these guys can do, dwarves. Well, I guess Wesker has already done dwarves and purple chest, but Total can do dwarves and purple chest a lot easier with that mirror now.
Did Breakdown do Shock Tool?
I don't think so. I think that was skipped. Which is in logic with Grappling Beam. The only way to really put it in logic here.
Yeah. But, so Breakdown heading through that portal. Does not have flippers, but is back in Link to the Past quickly.
And it looks like we're going to take a look at Magic Bat from Wesker. Did find the powder there in Upper Norfair. See if this yields any value.
Aha!
I'd say that's value.
I would say so. Ooh, and we've got... Oh, no, Breakdown does have the flippers. No, he is the one with the flippers, right. So Breakdown is going to be checking these flippers locations, which is great. We're finally going to get a check on Zora as well, but Charge Beam is excellent. Not needing any more ammo necessarily. The beams are still kind of lacking, but, you know...
We have found Wave and Spazer with Charge. I mean, that's like a good amount of damage. Obviously, Plasma is what we're after, but looks like Total is going to be rewarded with Charge as well. Interesting to see that sync between Total and Wesker here with all the boots checks and Death Mountain and all that, and getting the Charge Beam. Really nice item to have. Don't have to worry about ammo pretty much for the rest of the game, since these guys have plenty of power bombs and super missiles and missiles. So
yeah,
great play.
And it puts Ridley in logic technically.
Mm-hmm. Which we got a exciting fight from SuperNinTaylor right now. See how he handles it. I think he'll probably end up using some of those power bombs and missiles as well.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we did get a fire source there in the waterfall cave from Breakdown. We got a lamp.
That's awesome. Okay, so now, you know, Hera and Desert are completable, which we know are both fire locked. And if the fire rod's behind that lamp, that's huge. You know, going to Meridia to get your logical access with the flippers is really interesting. Now, with the Moon Pearl in hand, we can fake flipper into that Waterfall Fairy Cave. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody decides to go for that break, but we'll see.
Now, have we seen... We did see Purple Chest from somebody already.
Wesker did
do right.
Purple Chest save and quit.
Alright, and there's Ridley down for NinTaylor.
Well done. That's 3 bosses. Just Dragon to go, and I'm sure he knows that, you know, Dragon's well within logic, so he could be the first one to kind of just polish off Super Metroid. But I'm sure he's also thinking about Death Mountain, having a lot of items. All right, so where do we go from here, Wild? What do you think?
Well, there's not a whole lot left. Just but based on what we know, just, you know, as omniscient beings, as commentators having all the information, there's not really anything else left to do in Super Metroid. With those flippers and those and the mirror, I want to see a swamp play, but that's just me.
That's pretty exciting. It's a little tricky when you don't have the hook shot, which is an item we haven't really talked about, but can be in Ganon's Tower, can be a lot of places in the game, which may be required. I mean, it is logically required, but, you know, if some of these players can hover, they may be able to get by without it, and we do know where those boots are in a reasonably accessible location with Mirror and Hammer. It's pretty easy to get those, but
right,
you know, that's an item that we definitely are going to be on the lookout for. Hookshot, and Fire Rod's another one that really needs to turn up as well, but we're actually getting close to go mode here. Ether, of course, can be a very elusive thing too.
I mean, yeah, but we do have that, and I mean, I think, you know, it's either a swamp play would be cool, or I do think getting up to Hera, doing those 5-6 and checking that as well is going to be a great play. But it's weird because we've only got one player with the red cane here. It's going to be Breakdown. He's the only one who's gone into Meridia so far, gotten those flippers in that red cane. Be great to see those put to use. Although, you know, for his red cane to get put to use, he's got to hit up Death Mountain though first to get his ether.
Yeah, definitely.
But there are definitely a couple of options for these players. Nothing really in Super Metroid now, though. As like you said, it's essentially all full cleared. The only thing I think that has been the only thing that hasn't been checked is Shack Tool. My boy.
Yeah, I think you're right. Did we see criteria supers from anybody?
I think some people. Yes, SuperNinTaylor did check.
SuperNinTaylor went down. Yeah, because he did that and Waterway together. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you're right. It's just Shack Tool, and no one really wants to go there. So I understand.
Hey, well, hey, now speak for yourself.
Wesker making a trip into Hyrule Castle here at the 1.5 hour mark. Sometimes, you know, these things elude you.
I can't even like laugh at this because it's something that I do when I do like combos solo. Like the front of Hyrule Castle is something that I forget about for a very long time, and I'm like, oh god, I forgot the front of Hyrule Castle. And then there's like, you know, a sword and stuff, all my stuff that I need. In total, taking an unfortunate death there. He did have a fairy, but then it did get used up. Is this the first trip we've seen into Pod as well?
No, I believe Wesker was here before, but I don't think he...
Oh, he was, because he got the dungeon, which Breakdown got.
Correct. I don't believe he completed it because of the dark rooms and such, so... but he did, go through the maze. I know he went through the maze.
Yeah.
Like, he just didn't beat Helmetsore King.
Which had no problem for Breakdown, though, those dark rooms. He's got that lamp now. Excuse me.
Yeah, he knows this is well within logic. He can, can't mirror yet, because he actually hasn't done, Norfair or Croc, so he won't be able to get to Eastern immediately, but we may see him jump into Eastern afterwards. Using some interesting red cane stress there, I like it. I'm really interested to see where SuperNinTaylor goes next, if he decides to make that Meridia play or decides to go for Death Mountain, because I think those are the two, you know, biggest areas for him to explore.
I mean, yeah, either one is good. You know, you need to do both of them. Really, they're both kind of like required before you can do anything. And like, well, I mean, like Meyer in particular, I guess, is what I'm thinking. Like, you need to visit both places before you can do Meyer.
Right.
And they're in such like drastically different places, faraway places in the game, in each game too. It's just kind of just really out of the way and annoying to go check those.
Definitely. What's kind of interesting is, as we mentioned, we're pretty close to go mode. We need a fire rod and a hook shot logically to get there, based on our, you know, omniscience, as Wild was saying. But, you know, we're gonna probably have to start diving some of those pendant dungeons, like Swamp Palace without the hook shot, or Ice Palace is also available with Bombos Medallion.
Yeah.
Which is the green pendant, so, you know, Sahasrahla could be holding on to something important.
Yep.
Oh, I think this is good for Total. Total is finally on the kind of upper right of the Super Metroid map. He's getting the Criteria Power Bombs bow here, and he's probably gonna head to Wreck Ship and realize, holy value, there was a speed booster here all along.
If he does not go to Wreck Ship right now, then he's making a huge mistake. Like, there's no reason to
Quake is extremely important for him, too.
Yeah.
And that will likely lead him towards Meridia with that speed booster.
So, yeah, I mean, if he follows the items, and there's something to be said by, like, following your items that you're getting, like... If he follows the items, he's going to be in pretty good shape. Like you said, he's going to get his speed booster here. He's going to get Quake. That speed booster hopefully takes him into Meridia, because that's going to allow him to get all the way to Dragon. He's going to, you know, clear Meridia. He's going to find his Flipper's Red Cane. And then, you know, with Red Cane, and 2 medallion. Well, he's going to find Quake with the red cane too. It might take him back to TR.
Right. I want to say that like Breakdown might be the best example of like following the items, because you know they went to Thieves Town and they got Grapple. Okay, you know, after doing Brinstar Loop and stuff and getting their Moon Pearl or whatever, but they found Grapple. They went to Wreck Ship. They got their Gravity. They got their Speed Booster. They went to Meridia. They found all like the flippers and the red cane and all that stuff. And you know, got the bow. So now going to and lamp. Going to Pod, probably going to Eastern, you know, and maybe we'll see him go to Meridia soon. I really like kind of just the logical approach there, and I think NinTaylor isn't far off from that either, other than the breakdown to Lower Norfair.
Right.
Kind of curious to see what Wesker is doing next. I think he may be on that Fantoon path. Oh wait, no, he's done that. Or no?
He doesn't have.
He hasn't done that.
Yeah.
Oh no, he doesn't have gravity yet. That's right. Yeah, he needs that as well.
Yeah, I mean it's really coming down to it. Like
this could be pretty clear.
Yeah, it is coming down to it here. Let's see what kind of Fantoon fight he total gets here. Wesker, I'm sure, is thinking. You got so excited.
Doing a great job to avoid that item.
Went through great lengths to say, I don't need this suit. Gravity's for chumps.
He grabs it immediately. But
grabs it immediately. But, oh, and then Taylor doing a really cool wall jump into morph up into that hole there in a 3-tile high morph hole. You can wall jump and morph up into the hole, a la Alcatraz style, and get up in there without bombs or anything. Pretty cool.
Snags his 13th E-Tank.
Oh my god! Oh, are we gonna see them all today?
Oh my goodness. And great Fantoon fight there from Total. Wesker about to pick up Speed Booster. Gonna feel pretty good with all the movement items. I'm sure Total does too. Yep. And they'll probably be working towards grabbing their Quake medallion.
Yeah, they just got Quake here at Middle Ocean, and then they can just peace out. Breakdown doing a nice routing here, mirroring after Pod, heading straight into Eastern.
I don't think he could mirror. I don't think he has the mirror.
Oh, it doesn't have the mirror.
Yeah, I think he saved and quit and came back. But you know, still a fine play. You know, with the bow in hand, with the lamp, all in logic.
Yeah, you passed my test. Good.
Here, I believe. But yeah,
A plus. But yeah, so then the final sword there for NinTaylor as well. Well, I mean, technically not the final, but they're not getting that one at Lumberjack.
Right. And NinTaylor, very careful here with the ammo count, has not been to the Magic Bat yet to pick up the charge beam, so needs to farm up the ammo so that he does not get soft locked at butt wound. Don't want that to happen. That'll ruin your day.
Yeah, Botwoon is only going to take 10 supers. So he's pretty good right now. Looks like he wants to fill up or at least get more than just 10. With those 70 missiles as well, he's in pretty solid shape. Total gonna find his reserve up here. Wesker, like a missile from death, or a missile in the super there. Very nice.
Yeah, great fight from Wesker. He was doing some nice Dopplers there. Cleans up Fantoon. Gonna follow Total here.
70 and 23 is still not enough for NinTaylor to take down Botwoon. I mean, maybe he's farming for Dragon as well here, but it's not the best. I mean, you're gonna get 2 more Zoas per farm round after Botwoon, as opposed to the 3 that he's getting right there. But you know,
playing it safe, gonna save as well. I don't blame him. I mean, when you're in a a race situation, you know, having that happen to you is just crushing. Like it crushes your morale. Like if you have to backtrack and all that kind of stuff. So
absolutely,
I think it's a fine play.
Yeah,
didn't take too long. Another crystal for breakdown here, racking them up.
So NinTaylor's gonna find his value sand pit.
I want to think Breakdown may head up Death Mountain, try to polish off Hera now, and check out what's in East Death Mountain. But yeah, there's the value there for SuperNinTaylor. I think probably gonna reset here anyways to get the information about the other sand pit and figure out how to route this well, because without killing Dragon, the routing here can be really tricky and time consuming. So probably going to maybe kill Dragon first and then figure it out, or maybe check the sand pit and then go kill Dragon.
Just so he knows his route on the way out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Solid choice. Breakdown's gonna go get his Dark Cross, which I believe was an E-Tank.
Of course. What isn't an E-Tank? Total making really quick work of this section. Scouting things out with X-Ray. Love it. About to get that Quake.
And again, so he knows that TR is Quake. He does not know that Meyer is Ether. But he also does not have the Red Cane yet either.
But he's gonna press on. He's been finding so much value. Getting stuck in the block there. That's amazing.
You don't see that every day. Wow, has Breakdown not done the old man yet?
He hasn't done all the Death Mountain stuff, and they don't have Flute to get up there easily. So they can't get to that Norfair portal. I mean, he could go through Super Metroid to get there, but I think this is probably the fastest way to do it. And
yeah,
you know, with this clean routing, I think he could take a look at Turtle Rock and see if we find like Hookshot or Fire Rod early on there, or even, I mean, you can get to Laser Bridge without the Fire Rod, but odds of that are kind of low. It's the placement of the keys has to be such that lets you get there.
That would be great to see. I would love to see that. But as you said, yeah, the placement needs, the keys and stuff needs to be absolutely perfect to get there without Fire Rod. But Total is just now finishing up Wreck Ship. He's just got, check this last item, then Gravity Location, as well as Wesker. Gonna grab his Quake and head on out of here. Really curious to see where these two end up after this.
Yeah, I mean, I think Meridia is very attractive when you're already in Super Metroid. And, you know, Meridia has 18 items to explore. And you know, we've seen NinTaylor kind of follow that path as well. So hopefully they do, because that'll kind of equalize everyone.
Yeah, it's the it's the Death Mountain checks and the Meridia Sand Pit. Like that, those are where people need to be, and that's what's going to start sending people into Meyer and getting into TR as well.
Yeah, the TR play is a weird one without Fire Rod, though.
It's weird. Is. It's weird, but as time goes on, it's looking more and more like something that needs to happen. And what's great for the players who have going to Meridia, but first like Breakdown, is he's not going to have to make a second trip up here, so it's much more advantageous for him to check TR now, as opposed to what he's not. He's going to do Norfair and stuff in Lower Norfair. He hasn't. Wow,
maybe.
He hasn't done
maybe we'll see if he decides. We haven't seen a lot of logic breaks from Breakdown, so he doesn't have Space Jump, which is on Death Mountain. We'll see if he goes for it.
That's true. Actually, you're right. You're right. He as you said, like, he has really been following the logic, following the items the entire time. There's his 13th E-Tank.
It's a race.
It's a race between NinTaylor and Breakdown to find that final one. Wesker in total close behind with 11 and 12.
Will reign supreme.
Will reign
the E-Tank King.
Oh, man.
All right. Great Dragon fight from SuperNinTaylor, and just going to be heading back. Nothing really other than maybe Shaq Tool to worry about here in Meridia. He hasn't checked Plasma yet as well. He'll probably also go down the sand pit to get the 2 items that he left there that I'm sure he wants and needs. At least the red cane. And technically the flippers are blocking that lamp, which right now is, you know, logical completion of Tower of Hera and Desert Palace. And potentially, you know, like Misery Mire and stuff. Because if, like, the big key is fire locked, like, you know, given that they can do dark rooms.
Right.
Having a fire source can be really tricky, or not having one, I guess. It can really mess up your routing.
Yeah, it limits. It really can limit you quite a bit more than you might expect. So yeah, it seems like Wesker, he might be sticking to SM. He's doing his red tower checks, going down. Probably going to be doing X-ray on his way down, popping into Meridia, and getting his flippers in red cane. NinTaylor going to get his now as well. Actually collect it. He knows that they're here because he's already checked these. So he's going to go grab them now. Maybe check Shaq Tool. Again, that's the only item in SM that has not been checked right now by any player.
Wesker going back for Waterway, it seems.
Okay, this is not a bad time to do it, honestly. If it's going to be done in a first try gate glitch too, very well done.
All right, and there's flippers and red cane for SuperNinTaylor. I suspect, you know, if he does not do Shaq Tool, you know, I think Pod Eastern is probably going to happen pretty soon for NinTaylor. So we'll probably see some of that stuff that we've already seen. And, I mean, he still needs to find the Ice Rod, so I'm sure he's been worried about it, but we know it's just sitting comfortably in the big chest in Eastern.
Right, so he's going to get that, no problem. But he is going to check Shaq Tool. All right, and then Super Metroid will be completely checked.
We're going to have one of the biggest moral decisions of this randomizer. Do you kill Shaq Tool? What do you think, Wild? We kill him, right?
No! How dare you suggest such a outlandish, outrageous, another out word that I don't know, suggestion. Please. I'm appalled.
Looks like Total's interested in that blue mail. Don't blame him. It's good to have the safety. And I think he's off to check Shaq Tool as well.
Yeah.
Still doesn't have information about that left sand pit. No, he needs it.
Thank you, Andrew. Absolutely. Heinous. All right, let's see. SuperNinTaylor.
Alive.
What do we got? Plasma. Wow. Oh. It got there. Okay. Wow. So that's really great, particularly with that charging that he doesn't have yet because he hasn't turned in his powder.
It's very true, but still, you know, extremely powerful beam. I think worth keeping, especially as you're going to the plasma room to kill the plasma pirates and such. Really interesting. No ice beam yet. That's another item that really helps.
Stop shooting! Stop shooting! Okay.
No! Come on, Total.
No, and then Taylor kept shooting his plasma beam on the way over. I was afraid.
I think Total's excited for it as well. He's thinking, oh!
He's resetting. He's not taking it. Wow. Interesting.
Well, he hasn't checked the other sand pit, and going all the way back for it is fairly time-consuming. So I think I understand why he's passing on it.
Yeah, and I mean, he's gonna get rewarded for that because the other sand pit is where all the value is. So this is understandable. Yeah, and he's gonna get his next sword here as well.
Yeah, that's great. Probably save the other sand pit for after Dragon. I mean, having a lot of supers can counterbalance the plasma requirement. Plus, I'm pretty sure he has Spazer, so I mean, why do you really even need plasma, right?
I'm just ignoring you.
I'm aware.
Oh, Breakdown is making his way to Croc. Gonna get his mirror here. And he's looking in pretty good shape. He just needs to get up to Death Mountain at some point. Get his ether, his boots. Which is actually both things that you need to... I didn't even think about it, but the boots are also required to do Mire because you can't... without the hook shot, the boots are your other way of getting into Mire.
That's a really great point.
I was gonna say something along those lines, Nekara, but I was thinking it. I was thinking it.
Wesker is hot on the heels of Total and SMZ3 here, so yeah, I just wonder what's gonna happen next. Like, where is the next progression? Because I think it might be a little while before we see it. Because there's some crystal dungeons with high value that some of these guys haven't completed, like Pod and Eastern, which I think that worked out really well for SuperNinTaylor. Specifically, you know, not going to Eastern and getting those morph bombs, and just sticking it out, finding the speed booster to be able to check all the items. I think things have been working out really well for him, and he's done with Super Metroid at this point. So, I mean, he has to look and Link to the Past, and I'm sure he's excited about it because he has a lot of items.
So the SuperNinTaylor was making those clips to the ohms a little bit more difficult than they needed to be. You just have to, as they're rolling towards you, you jump and aim down and then wait, and then they roll right through you. But he made it work. It's all good. Total showing us some shine sparks on Dragon. Excellent. Getting a nice blue suit.
And SuperNinTaylor taking advantage of the Meridia portal here to get to Palace of Darkness even quicker. So, really fantastic routing. I love it.
Yeah, very, very good. And he's going to be able to do Pod and then Mirror into Eastern. So yeah. Breakdown is going to pick up his Mirror here. And then be all done with this area. Wesker is going to see his Plasma.
Yeah, he'll have to make a call on that one. And he does have charge as well, so he may elect to hold on to that one. Hasn't found wave either yet, so, you know, maybe nice to just have that in your pocket. Alright, Total making the right call here. Heading towards that other sand pit.
Wesker. Why?
What? It's just Shaq Tool. Yeah, I mean, he's done digging. What else do you need him for?
He lived his dream. It's all he wants to do is dig for you. And he's so happy that he finally gets to do it. And what do? As soon as he's done, you murder him. You blow him up.
No one likes the digging game, Wild.
But you don't even... He's doing it for you.
It's like the slowest. It's like slower than the one in Dark World. I think Total really wants these items immediately. It's working on the wall jumps there. Pretty nice. So Wesker is actually going to have to exit and re-enter Meridia since he has not completed Dragon yet. So it's going to be a little time consuming, but you know, keeping the plasma will speed up a lot of the fights. Actually will be the only one to use some cool microwave strats on Bot Wound and Dragon more than likely. Nice green gate glitch there too.
Yeah, he and I believe it was Breakdown did that same thing, going through that path after the sand pit, which is cool because you don't have to go through and sit through the tube breaking animation, but they did that already, so never mind. If they came from.
Speaking of Breakdown, we're finally getting a look into Tower of Hera. Breakdown does have that lamp. So that's critical for being able to complete this dungeon. And it's a 5/6 crystal too, which does open up the Pyramid Fairy. So we could see Fire Rod there, which would be behind a fire source, the lamp. So that could be really cool. We may see Hookshot, which gives us access to other chests in Hookshot Cave or Swamp Palace in its entirety. A lot can happen here.
Just a whole plethora of things it could be. A cornucopia.
It could be nothing, too.
It could also be absolute trash. Because like you were saying, like, there's still lots of places to be checking still. Like, Link to the Past, like, we've checked all of SM. It's completely done. But Link to the Past has a lot of stuff still that can still be done. All of Swamp, all of Ice, Mire, TR, Landmo has an item. And there might be like some overworld locations that haven't been done yet. The tablets, but we don't have the book yet.
Yeah, that could put us on another little quest if we do end up finding the book somewhere. But if you are just joining us, this is the tiebreaker race for getting to the top 8 for the Super Metroid and Link to the Past combined randomizer tournament here on Speed Gaming. These guys are fighting it out. There are 7 players in this tiebreaker race. We've got SuperNinTaylor, Total, Breakdown, and hcfwesker here to follow along with. And in addition to that, we have OC101 and Hitaka racing currently. And Andy has provided a VOD of the same seed and is also a part of this race. So one of them will unfortunately be, I guess, heading home after this race. So basically, the person who comes in last will not advance to the top 8, and the 6 players who do advance will be joining Solsky and Stryzer in a top 8 showdown for sweet cash prizes.
Cash prizes, oh baby.
That's right. First place does take home $400. Second place $200. Third place $100, and fourth place a cool $50. So,
and Breakdown with a hook shot.
Wow,
that's all the cash prize he needs.
It's a pretty good prize. Ooh, wow. Okay. So where can we go with the hook shot?
So the hook shot's going to let us get another 3 items on Dark Death Mountain in that hook shot cave that we weren't able to check without the boots. Or without the hook shot, I mean, because the boots allowed us to check one of them. But more importantly, it allows us to do all of Swamp. As well as actually complete the game. So, like, go through Ganon's Tower. But, Swamp.
Yeah, it's really nice finding that there, because, you know, that hook shot could have been in Ganon's Tower or in really terrible places. So, I think most players will find that pretty quickly after they jump back into Link to the Past. And after they get their lamp. Again, that was behind a fire source. So wherever Fire Rod is, you know, that could be a thing as well. Looks like Breakdown is opening up Turtle Rock right now. Again, without the Fire Rod, this could be a really quick check. But Fire Rod can be inside of Turtle Rock or in Mimic Cave, which is also accessible through Turtle Rock. So this could be a big play coming up here if Breakdown decides to make it. Also really excited to see these hookshot cave checks. Total now finding the lamp here at the 2-hour mark.
Yeah,
as
second person
has a fantastic Dragon fight. Yeah. Is he second? I think Wesker might have fake flippered in here, or did he do catfish and mirrored? I'm not sure. I know he checked Zora.
I have.
Yeah,
you know, it's really hard to be keeping track of all these, of all the players and what they're doing. Shout outs to our trackers who are able to keep track of everything and make sure that we are up to date with every player's items and boss.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to function without Death by Snoo in mind of me holding us down on the trackers, so thank you guys. Alright, so Hookshot Cave, 100 rupees. Just a piece of heart there, and super missiles.
Okay. So the only other thing up here that hasn't been checked yet is going to be going into TR.
That is quite the gamble, but I mean, it's coming down to it. It really is. Now's when you kind of got to make the plays.
This is it. It is absolutely has come down to this point here. Total going into pod now, it seems. You know, like you were saying, it's a dungeon that needs to be completed, can easily be tied in with Eastern, but there's nothing there for them anymore. Total is going to get his ice rod, but you know, other than that, like no real progression there. I mean, I guess technically the ice rod is, but it's not really of immediate concern without the fire rod.
Probably thankful to find that sooner rather than later, though.
Yeah.
So that they don't have to really hunt for it, because it's one of those items that can just be anywhere.
Okay, so Wesker has gone back and picked up his red cane and flippers again. Dragon is dead. Is he going back for plasma? Looks like it.
Yep.
Oh wait, he has plasma. Is he
he's going back for the plasma room.
The room, yeah. That's
yeah.
what I meant the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Breakdown's finally hitting up the Light World Death Mountain. Gonna get those boots, those sweet boots and ether. And Space Jump as well. So probably, you know, based on kind of the logical progression we've seen Breakdown do, we'll realize, hey, I can jump into Lower Norfair. And we may end up seeing our first dip into Misery Mire.
Well, I should certainly hope so, if he's going to there.
I mean, completion of Desert as well. So that, I mean, things are just kind of working out logically in his favor if that's the case.
It is paying off incredibly for staying within the logic for Breakdown. You might say he's not down for logic breaks.
Got him. But it looks like Breakdown has some other plans. Oh, baby. Could this be Swamp Palace?
Oh, yes, dude. This is what I want. Swamp is the best. Oh, here we go. Also forgetting he... Oh, there you go.
Smokes.
This
is really, really ballsy right now.
This is so good. It's so good.
Rip. I think he's just realized it's a pendant and didn't want to do it immediately.
Dang!
Walked away. He's just shunning Swamp. That's really all he's doing. Oh goodness. Maybe a quick.
Oh, he realized he hasn't checked shovel
check?
yet. Yeah.
Or
not. What is happening?
I have no idea. I will see. Is there something in the library we missed?
I don't think so.
Maybe he hasn't done Sick Kid.
It's just like Fire Rod on the library immediately.
No.
Everybody missed it this entire time.
Maybe he's doing like the whole Smith chain down to Swamp or something.
Yeah. Just
thinking about the overworld and like maybe Graveyard Ledge, stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. Wesker now, with flippers in hand, is checking the Waterfall Ferry. So he had come here earlier, and I think mirrored from Catfish, but he hadn't got his lamp yet, so I'm sure excited to be able to complete a bunch of dungeons now.
Yeah, so it does seem like that's probably what Breakdown is doing. And Taylor heading on down to take down Helmasaur, whereas Total is in the opposite dimension, the opposite world here, taking down Armos.
These can be some really tricky rooms, the dark rooms in Palace of Darkness. But it looks like SuperNinTaylor is just smashing those turtles. Really well done.
Incredible.
And that's it. Yeah, he's just going to be moving on to King Helmasaur. Another crystal in Total's pocket. I think he'll be jumping into Palace of Darkness shortly.
Yeah, and here goes Wesker into Hera, going to be rewarded with his hook shot. Probably immediately going to be checking Hookshot Cave right afterwards, and then we'll see what he decides to do. You know, again, like, he could then end up going into Pod Eastern. He could do the TR play. He could do the Swamp play. You know, like, there's a couple viable options.
Yeah, this is kind of the critical point. Kind of the height of this race is, like, who will find that Fire Rod? Who's gonna get there first? Because I think that's the person that's probably gonna be a decent amount ahead. Now, I mean, like, Breakdown has a good number of crystals. SuperNinTaylor now has a few crystals, and all the Super Metroid bosses done. So, I mean, making progress in that regard is also critical. But, you know, finding that Fire Rod wherever it may be, it looks like it's in a pretty hidden place. So, wherever it turns up, you know, that person may have a good advantage pulling this out. So where do we think it is? Where do we want it to be? Where's the Fire Rod?
I mean, I don't think I've seen or played a seed where TR has had, like, the key progression to get you all the way to Laser Bridge. So I think that would be cool to see. But I mean, I'm always a fan of Swamp. There's just so many items there.
It's 6 items, and I kind of like Breakdown's route. He could, like, go to Swamp and then do Big Bomb. That's another opportunity. You know, we see SuperNinTaylor on the pyramid right now, but maybe inside the pyramid's where he needs to be.
Yeah. All right, so let's. I think purple chest has been checked already by somebody. But he's not doing swamp. He's not continuing.
Not going for it.
To swamp.
Maybe this is the lower Norfair play? No. Something else.
It's something else. He hasn't done bonk rocks and stuff yet. Just got his boots. But it looks like NinTaylor is going to be checking his catfish, going to be getting his lamp.
Yeah, good routing here, you know, making good use of the flippers. They've got plenty of money for Zora. Wesker finding the first item in here, just 20 rupees, but we know that hookshot's about to turn up here shortly.
Breakdown hasn't checked the lumberjack. Has he even gone into the forest? I'm wondering if he's checking it now that he has access to the item.
He has boots, yeah, exactly.
I know that's what some people do is they don't even check that item until they are actually have all the items to acquire it. All right, so there's that hook shot for Wesker. Let's see what he decides to do.
Another 5-6 crystal as well. Maybe he's thinking from that approach because he kind of rushed those two things. Well, everybody did thieves pretty early, but
yeah,
he rushed Tower of Hera after getting that lamp, which I mean that's paid off already with a hook shot. But I think he's gonna do the hook shot cave right now, and I'm really interested to see if he decides to make the play into Turtle Rock. That's again something big.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
I think we may see SuperNinTaylor going up the mountain now, especially with Lamp in hand. He's able to kind of just clear out Tower of Hera on the first trip here. And he's going to be rewarded with boots and ether, and maybe we'll see a TR dive from him. Probably important to know what the medallion is for Turtle Rock in the first place, because these guys hadn't seen it yet. They didn't know what was required. So probably trying to get a feel for ether. Granted, they're gonna find ether up here, and Wesker already has it.
He's just opening. He's not going in
for now. I mean, he's probably just popping into Hookshot Cave real quick. Because if Fire Rod was at Hookshot Cave and you went into TR, it would be pretty silly.
Absolutely. And again, reminder that Wesker is down a sword on everybody because he did not go back into Terminator to get his sword back in an hour, two hour and a half ago.
Yeah, and that's pretty big. The difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword is very significant. But Wesker is going for it. Let's see it, Wesker. Let's go.
Oh man. Play of the century. If this pays off.
All right, first chest in Turtle Rock is small key. That allows us to continue through the dungeon. We cannot do the Fire Rod lock section on the right side here at the beginning, so the small key is critical. If we get another small key at the Chain Chomp's chest, that means we can continue advancing through this dungeon. Meanwhile, Breakdown gonna be making the play on Lower Norfair now, fully within logic. And we'll probably see Desert and Misery Mire from him as well. So that'll be pretty cool to see, too.
Yep, so we do need a key here in Chomps.
Like really cool setup there.
I like that. There is a key.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. Can we get to Laser Bridge? Good use of the powder there on that anti-fairy. Total finishing up Helmasaur King. We'll see what his next step is. As we see Breakdown taking the vanilla entrance into Golden Torizo. The Within Logic entrance. Nice
So he
bomb
does
jump from SuperNinTaylor, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, no, that's good. That's good. He does need to get this key here, take it, and he's getting bonked around by these Stalfos heads here, but Wesker's gonna need to grab this key. He needs that vanilla big key on the, or actually,
yeah, he would need vanilla big key here, and then a key in the big chest or roller room.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yep.
And then we already have access to
Fire Rod! I was gonna say, unless there's Fire Rod here. Oh my god. The dream!
That is the dream!
Oh my god. The plays, dude.
He just stopped there for a moment and was just like, hello?
Wow. Oh my god. Okay. So Wesker now in go mode.
Actually, in go mode, I think he needs to mirror back though.
Yeah, he really needs,
because he needs the big keys on the right side. Now, another interesting aspect of what's happening here is none of these players have found silver arrows, which is technically a required item to beat Link to the Past. Most players are comfortable doing silverless strategies, but that could play a role here, especially for Wesker, who only has Master Sword and not Tempered. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is absolutely nuts. This is putting him way out in front. Unless NinTaylor here follows him in there, though.
Yeah, or Total. Total's up in Hera right now.
That's true.
Well.
If either one of them decide to make this play, they're going to be hot on his heels, and they're going to have a significant advantage at Ganon with that sword. Like you were saying, there's a huge difference between Tempered and Master for silverless Ganon.
And both of those players have also completed Ridley at this point, so, you know, I think Wesker really wants them to not go into Turtle Rock right now and, you know, dip ice or swamp or something like that, but, I mean, they're up here, and they have Red Cane. So, I mean, do you do it? We'll see.
We will see.
I agree with checking the rest of Death Mountain first, though. I think it's...
it's a couple locations. NinTaylor
Plus, they're still looking for Ether and Boots, so, like, they...
Oh, yeah.
At least NinTaylor knows that he needs those things.
Right. Yeah, he hasn't done any of Light World either, yeah. A good bomb jump there for Total 2.
Nicely done.
Breakdown's fight here with GT is taking quite a while. He's needing to farm a lot. Now it finally takes him down.
It's great having Charge as kind of a backup for that fight, though. If you find the magic pixel, you can just kind of nail a bunch of shots into him. So that's pretty great. And we're going to get our a look at, you know, the Mire area again. You'll find that Bombos in Checkerboard, but then we'll see the dip into Misery Mire. Now, we know there's no required items in the dungeon, but, you know, could find, like, a flute that might speed things up later. Granted, he's done a lot of the crystals right now, so that may not end up mattering too much.
Right.
Or Ice Beam could be a really big find at this stage of the game. SuperNinTaylor grabbing some half magic here. Wesker actually checking Mimic Cave Finding a full heart.
He's looking for a sword.
Well, actually, he doesn't know the requirement for Misery Mire. Maybe that's what's on his mind.
Oh, yeah.
What if it's Bombos? Like, I'm probably gonna be going to Lower Norfair soon. Oh, there's the flute!
A flute!
What?
Wow.
That's cool.
So now he could just flute and check it really fast, and then head into Lower Norfolk. That's actually really good for him. That's actually super, super good.
That'll definitely speed things up for Wesker. It's just really a shame that Wesker missed that Terminator sword.
It is. And it's just gonna feel extra bad when he goes to Mother Brain and then runs into it on the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so Total not doing TR. He's gonna go check Spike Cave.
Well, I think Total realizes there are 2 crystal dungeons that I haven't even stepped into that I can complete right now. So probably gonna, head through Norfair and try to get to Desert and Mire. Because, I mean, that's something you have to do anyways. So that's my guess. But
Right.
we'll see.
So
I've seen NinTaylor do the same thing. We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see. This is interesting.
Yeah, he just got the boots and his ether now.
He's bomb jumping back. I think he might be going for it. He's totally
possible.
going for it. He's going for it right now.
He's doing it immediately.
I think it's happening. I mean, if you get locked out early, then you're just locked out early, I guess.
I mean,
if you get strung along and it's not worth, that's when it becomes a really big problem. But he's going for it.
Like if the locations of Fire Rod and Flute had been switched, like.
Well, I don't think that would be possible with the big key location.
True. Right. Well. Yeah. Got me.
Got him.
We're gonna have our first desert completion by Breakdown.
Yeah, this is cool. I like it. SuperNinTaylor just following the crumbs here. Breadcrumbs. Really nice Chomps room.
Yeah.
And we're about to see a cool Trinex fight as Breakdown just destroys these Landmos with Ice Rod. Ooh, Wesker's got to be really careful here with the health. Ooh, I think he might have a fairy.
Well, he also took the door at the bottom of Laser Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So he's safe there as well. Giving himself a little bit of a checkpoint. Alright, there's the Firehead down. One more to go.
He's got another fairy, so he should be pretty good.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah. And he has half magic. That half magic is great for him as well.
Absolutely. And there's the Ice Head. Alright.
NinTaylor also now in go mode. Granted, he has not found Charge Beam, which could be an issue based on ammo situation. So
yeah, I'm not sure what his ammo's like.
Yeah, I don't think they have quite enough ammo at this point. The highest I've seen maybe like 30, 35.
And that's not enough.
But maybe Hookshot. I know Hookshot Cave had 1 packs. Maybe they're pretty close with the missile count. We'll have to see.
And there is TR. Done for Wesker.
Well done. Still has a lot of other dungeons to complete right now, though. So he's gonna be able to do them very quickly. He has the flute in hand, so he can kind of get around and get to Lower Norfair quicker too, because he still hasn't beat Ridley. But he can go mode all of it if he so chooses. I'm sure he's gonna get to Meyer as fast as possible to see what the requirement is, though. I think that's.
Oh, I absolutely agree. He's gonna pop that flute, head there immediately, check the total doing X factors on GP. I can say that I have never seen anybody do that. That's hilarious. Anyway,
apparently it's a developer-intended strategy because Total is the developer of this round.
It got there.
Got him.
So Wesker's gonna be able to check that Meyer requirement. He's gonna see that he is in go mode. Likely gonna complete it and then jump into Lower Norfair as well afterwards. He sees it. He's happy. Probably still gonna check some things just for
maybe Ice Beam or a sword or silvers. Those things can be really nice.
Those are the things that he's gonna really want to let's see here. Because you know, he can complete the game as of right now. There are some items that are going to speed him up a lot.
Total did a little double take on that Bombos medallion over in the Meyer area and decided to pick it up, realizing I might need this to find Fire Rod, but hopefully he doesn't fall into that trap. We'll see. SuperNinTaylor making good use of that mirror shield to get through Laser Bridge, kind of the intended way. And now decides to bust out the blue cane, no problem.
Yeah, on half a heart.
Yeah, bold, not taking the safety door there, but maybe he's got that fairy as well. Oh, he's going for the powder. There we go.
As Kerrigan might say, bold move.
And I think we're going to have 3 of our players in Misery Mire shortly. Pretty crazy. See everything kind of converge.
I mean, they're getting pigeonholed down into like the last little. It's just like there's like nothing really else to do here. The only unfortunate thing for breakdown that could happen to Breakdown or to Total would be making a decision to like go and check Swamp or something instead of going into TR, because the other two, because Taylor and Wesker, they're in their go mode now.
Yeah, the only concern I think SuperNinTaylor has is ammo that I'm just not sure of.
Right.
Because again, doesn't have the charge beam. All other 3 players do have charge beam. It's interesting. SuperNinTaylor does have plasma as well, so it could be really potent. But I think it has worked out for SuperNinTaylor, the routing, kind of in the same way as Wesker, except SuperNinTaylor has already completed Ridley. So, you know, like, Wesker might do Ridley now, because he's kind of in the Mire area, but, like, SuperNinTaylor could cash in the flute. Oh, I guess he must have skipped the big chest. So he's just going there for the vanilla way. I thought he got it. I guess he didn't get it. Huh. Okay. I missed that. That's really interesting. But his super count is, like, reasonable with these missile counts. I think he might be okay.
I mean, technically
He's okay. Yeah.
he's not. Because
because
if he has
glass.
30, well, because you're gonna need to use 30 on 30 or 3,000 damage worth on Mother Brain 1. Then you still need to have 18,000 for Mother Brain 2. So you need a total of 21,000. Which he does not
max super count is. If it's 40, I think he'll be okay.
If it's 40, he's fine. He has exactly enough.
That's not a good place to be in.
He cannot miss a single shot.
Maybe he's hoping to find some ammo in GT or something.
But as it stands right now, he's in trouble.
Well, I think there's some ammo here in Lower Norfair. I recall Fire Flea maybe having something. Supers, maybe?
Breakdown. Okay.
Whew! Good Vitreous fight, sitting on 0 arrows. Clutching it out.
Heart and a half. Nice Ice Rod Landmo there as well for a total.
I was about to say, that was a great fight. Snags his 5th crystal.
This is a major decision point for Total right now. He's probably going into Mire. He can do it. Or did he port? Did he? Oh, he didn't.
Yeah, he hasn't done it quite yet.
He did. Okay. So he's gonna do Mire. He's gonna find no Fire Rod here, and then he's got like 3 choices. He's got Swamp, he's got Ice, he's got TR, and well, he needs to make the right one here.
He really does. Definitely looks like SuperNinTaylor is kind of our front runner here. Granted, there are 3 more runners, you know, in this tiebreaker race that are racing right now. So we'll just have to see how it ends up. And again, we are a little concerned about the ammo, but hopefully NinTaylor can find something along the way, and I think that's what he's expecting or hoping for.
And I mean, in GT, you're very likely to find ammo as well.
Mm-hmm. Great Landmo fight, 1 cycle there from SuperNinTaylor.
Excellent.
He's only got 1 more crystal left before Ganon's Tower. And then it's kind of this end game gauntlet of, you know, Ganon's Tower and Turian and, you know, Ganon and Mother Brain, of course. About to see some sweet fast pillars from Breakdown. Love it. And some fun cape and dashing strats through all the eyeballs there from Wesker. I like that too.
I think if you... Yeah, I think you're able to, with half magic and cape, if you don't... He did bonk there, I think, but you are able to actually kill all the eyes before, like, just as you run out of magic with just Master Sword. But he does have a green potion there anyway. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him get more potions along the way with all this money.
He's got Flute too, so it makes it quick to the witch.
Yeah. With the Master Sword, like particularly for Ganon, I would get at least a blue, because you're gonna want that magic refill.
Yeah.
24 spins on the final phase, so that's a lot of relighting the torch. And in a race setting, you'd much rather be safe than sorry, I think.
Yeah, it seems like all these guys have around like 30 to 35 super missiles at this stage. I don't really know if there are even that many more available. They have checked a lot of, like, I know SuperNinTaylor has actually full cleared Super Metroid. That's gonna be a tricky one.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they're just not in GT and if they're just sitting in swamp and ice.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Normally, you do find a lot in GT, but it just could not pan out that way this time. Only time will tell, really.
All right, let's check out this Ridley fight from Breakdown. Looks like gonna farm up a little bit here.
He's coming in with a lot of supers already because he killed GT a while back. That's usually the issue when coming to Lower Norfolk without charges. You use up all your super missiles at GT, and then you don't have very many left for Ridley unless you farm the Rippers a little bit. But he's come in with quite a few already.
I believe Breakdown was the one to make the decision not to check Shack Tool, so while he does have the charge beam, it does not have plasma to go with it, so sometimes getting a little more safety, not a bad idea. Stock up on ammo, make sure you're good to go. This can be a tricky fight. Has a lot of health, though. That's for sure. Yeah.
It's just like a speed thing also. It's like the supers are going to be your highest DPS on Ridley. So we'll see how that goes for him. We've got Total looking for his big key, and Meyer still. NinTaylor is on his way to Vitreous, and Wesker's about to take out these Landmos, and nearly got that one cycle there. Just barely missed that last one, but finishes him off right as he pops out. Surprise!
All right, bring it home, Breakdown. Ridley might actually be dead. Super dead. Yeah. It just blew up. And with that, SuperNinTaylor has collected his final crystal and more than likely will be heading to Ganon's Tower. So here, Wild, we like to play a little fun guessing game. Where is the big key in Ganon's Tower?
Where indeed?
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I always like the double fire bar room. I think it's cool because it's just like out. It's just like a single chest, a little bit out of the way. But I always like that one. What about you?
We got 22 locations to pick from. I'm gonna go with, say, 3. I think it's gonna be early.
Okay, yeah. So I guess mine would be then 8.
Typically 8, I suppose.
To it, yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, let's wait and see here. Yeah, Breakdown. Still got to be looking for his fire rod.
Total going for some spin strats with the cape. I like it. Does a lot of damage to spin with tempered there.
Absolutely, it's equivalent to a gold sword slash.
All right, polishes off Vitreous, and only 1 crystal to go for Total. Needs to get to Turtle Rock to find that fire rod. We know Wesker is kind of just in blitz mode right now, trying to get through the rest of Super Metroid, just kill Ridley, and then complete the rest of the crystals there. Breakdown, after having finished Ridley, still needs to find his Fire Rod and TR. But now we are going into Ganon's Tower. Looks like first two chests. I don't see SuperNinTaylor turning in that mushroom. What do you think?
Absolutely not. One thing to point out though is that we did mention this earlier that because wow, nice filters on the torch. That is super good to see, especially for Wesker. That's gonna, when he gets there, he's super happy to see those.
And there wasn't even a key on the right, so like he won't. I don't think he'll be checking tile room first.
Yeah, no,
so he will run into those for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. One thing I do want to mention is because we did say that charge beam is logically required for Ridley. You're not going to find charge in GT, so that's not something that they can find, but they could end up finding a lot more ammo. You know, hopefully a bunch of super packs or something.
And that's what SuperNinTaylor is really looking for here.
That's what he needs. He needs this.
That's what he needs. Yeah.
Again,
we haven't technically seen his full count, but
that's true.
I think he's hovering around like 35 supers and 90 missiles.
Yeah, if he's at 35, then that's a problem. If he's once he gets to 40, he's literally exactly enough. He has to kill all the Zebatites, break all the glass, go back and refill his missiles, and then not miss a single shot on Mother Brain 1 or 2.
Yeah, it is also possible that he has in his mind the location of a couple missile packs or something that he left behind. We'll just have to see. But still hasn't found the big key yet, so honestly that might be good for him. Could run into some ammo along the way.
Yeah.
And great fight from Wesker there. You see Wesker didn't even bother checking what was going on behind Ridley. He's just go-moding. He's just fully blitzing through everything as fast as possible because he wants a piece of that prize pool in the top 8.
Absolutely, yeah. It is very tempting. There's a little bit more ammo. There's some missile packs there. An ice beam, that's really great for speed as well. In Turian, not going to have to power bomb those Metroids.
That is fantastic, man. And SuperNinTaylor, while he did keep the plasma beam, he still doesn't have charge. So, I mean, that's not going to provide any more damage on Mother Brain, but it's just going to make things go quicker in Metroid rooms and Zebetite glitch and all that good stuff. Total about to do the big bomb now. I think he's getting, you know, antsy about this fire rod and making the dip into some of these pendant dungeons or Turtle Rock in general. And this is just not a good path for him.
Dude, did you see NinTaylor? He threw a bomb to blow up the wall or the floor, but it went all the way to the wall and didn't blow the floor up. But when it exploded, he was standing on top of the floor, so he would have fallen and not checked the chest had his bomb been a little bit farther, a little bit up, more far up.
And thank goodness he did, because that was a super missile pack.
Yeah.
Another one.
Okay, so he's looking in pretty good shape here. And we do have a right side or tile room big key here. That was chest number 17. So any of you who guessed over 17, you're still in it. Let's see.
To win it.
Let's see. Both of us are wrong, so
Rip.
got him.
Oh, did we find the last E-Tank? We may have also found the last E-Tank.
The last E-Tank is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
I don't know about peace, but we'll go with that.
Is at peace of heart.
Okay. Remember when you were ignoring me?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, there might be a little reversal here. So, number 18, just a bloopy here. Number 19, piece of heart. 20, 50 rupees.
Oh!
21, the Book of Mudora.
It's a tile room. Number 22. Oh man, got there. What an ending to a seed. Oh boy.
That's rough, but look at this. Breakdown and Total are running out of options, and they are going for this Criteria Supers check. Both of them. It's crazy. They realize they've got to start making some plays to find this Fire Rod, and they're going through a lot of lengths. I think Total's going to Waterway now.
Yep, I was gonna say same thing. Really cool thing here. I don't know why it is this way, but if you use the cape and you grab and hold the bottom wall there, you do not use magic, and you can't get grabbed by the master hand or anything. So you can just preserve your magic and just wait for all the tiles and stuff to break.
It is super cool. But SuperNinTaylor is making the ascent up Ganon's tower. See if he checks some of the chests at the end to see if he can get like a little more cushion on ammo, or maybe find Spring Ball or something fun, or you know. But
yeah, because as of now, if we assume that his super count was at 35, he's now at 90 and 45, which gives him 5 supers of leeway. Still requiring him to break all the Zebatites and break the glass and go back and refill.
Alright, here's our Waterway check from Total. We've seen this before. No luck, but gonna reset. Good on him. Guess he misses out on the mail upgrade, but I mean, we saw Total give up on Plasma as well, so I think he's comfortable without it. Different games, but kind of similar situations.
Breakdown is in for a similar disappointment as Total.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta get to TR. Oh, I think Total's going for Swamp.
Now I don't like it. I liked it earlier. I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, sure. Maybe we'll find Spring Ball.
Maybe that might
might redeem the entire play.
Yeah, redeem the integrity of the play.
Yeah, he's definitely going for Swamp. It's 6 items. I don't blame him.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. But it's time consuming, and we know it's not the right play, which is really unfortunate. But Breakdown has a similar decision to make. It's a hard sell to go into Turtle Rock at this point, because you have to climb the whole mountain and go in there and pray, because key layout may mess you up. And I think Breakdown's going back for that Swamp play. So I'm attempt to do it earlier, but decide against it. And that worked out for him, but I think he's going back. Meanwhile, Wesker has just been knocking out, you know, objectives here. Managed to beat Ridley, beat Pod, jumping into Eastern. Going to be a quick trip since he already has been here and has the big key.
And then that's it.
And then he's up to Ganon's tower.
Yeah.
And we'll be pleased to find some silvers, I'm sure.
Spring Ball. Got him.
Worth.
Well, now Swamp is like completely awful.
Rip. Yep.
There's not gonna be a single thing here that you need. Like we've already found all of we've even found the bug net, the book, the mushroom, like all of those other things like are just not even.
I think we even have all the bottles. A little more ammo
back there. Yeah, this is good that he's still continuing to check these things. He's gonna be, you know, he's still got a little bit of leeway now. He's gonna need to be careful though, definitely.
This has been like the dream game for SuperNinTaylor. Like he just made the play direct ship and found speed booster along the way. You know, it's like, it's like get all the ammo you need along the way and ice beam. Here you go. Here's spring bowl if you need it. You know, there's a triple from Aga.
The wow.
Oh, very nicely done.
Unfortunate placement there in that second round, but this he should clear this one up right here. There it goes. Very well done.
Beautiful double.
Wesker heading on in. Take down Armos. Breakdown is now following Total here in Swamp.
And we actually do have our first finisher of this tiebreaker race, Wild.
We do. Yes, we do. OC 101 finished with an official time of 2 hours, 49 minutes, and 53 seconds. So congratulations to him finishing first in this tiebreaker race, moving on into the bracketed stage. Again, the top 6 out of 7 finishers in this tiebreaker race will move on. Again, we've mentioned it a couple times. We've got these 4 guys here. There's 2 on another restream, as well as Andy has submitted a VOD of his. So we'll be keeping you all posted as finishers happen, if you're not able to be watching other streams or anything.
Yeah, congratulations to OC. We'll be joining Solsky and Stryzer in the top 8.
Right, yeah.
Of the Super Metroid and Link to the Past combined randomizer tournament. Vying for that $750 prize pool. Really clean first couple phases of Ganon here from SuperNinTaylor.
Yeah, and we did just see Wesker go buy some potions too. So it's definitely going to help. Ooh, and a nice triple there from NinTaylor. Excellent.
All right, so let's get some single G's here for SuperNinTaylor. Well done. Still has to beat Super Metroid though, and should have the ammo for it. Just has to save and quit, and a quick reset will put him back on the ship in Super Metroid.
Liking all those
Meanwhile in Swamp.
Meanwhile in Swamp. Oh god. It does seem like Breakdown decided to not do the west side there and just went straight to Argus.
What is actually super interesting, though, about the fact that Total and Breakdown are on this hunt is that they're both on it together.
Yeah.
So, like, they may be the ones vying for that final spot in the top 8, potentially. I mean, we don't know what's going on with the other runners.
Right.
But, that makes for kind of an exciting situation here. Looks like Wesker is going to be in pretty good shape, but you know, obviously we'll have to see the execution on Ganon with Master Sword and Silvers. But I mean, I think he'll be fine. He's a well-seasoned player of both of these games and knows Link to the Past in and out and Super Metroid really well.
Yeah.
I mean, all these guys do really. Like we've been seeing some top-notch play here. Sometimes it just comes down to what decisions you decide to make and where the items are.
Yeah, and there's those silvers for Wesker. I'm sure he's rejoicing about those.
Ooh. Interesting. Wesker going for kind of a Dark Magician strategy here, going towards the left first, grabbing a bunch of keys and stuff, and then checking the right side after Stalfos room, not needing to kill all those Stalfos and mirroring back. If he does go for tile room, you know, that'll improve his time significantly. Not that his time is bad right now. I mean, like, these are some... I mean, 2:49 from OC? That's a really amazing time, especially for a Fire Rod and Turtle Rock, and I think SuperNinTaylor is going to have an amazing time, too.
Yeah, I was very, very impressed when I saw his time there. It's incredible for this kind of seed.
I mean, maybe SuperNinTaylor can hit the sub 3 hour? I'm not sure. Would it be close? I mean, he doesn't have charge. I guess that's kind of a problem.
It's gonna be very close. He would need to be playing out of his mind. With 5 minutes to do it, I don't know. Because the cutscene, like, he doesn't have charge, so like he's not gonna be able to do stand up. So like he's not gonna gain those couple of seconds there. Like he didn't do the skip. You know, he has to kill all the Zebatites and then come back and refill. Like there's a lot of time that he's needing to spend doing things.
That's very true. That's a good point. Looks like we've got a couple players heading to Ice Palace now.
Oh, they're both doing...
continues.
Oh man, it's so awesome that like Wesker is shovel dashing. You'd only get an item on the last thing that you dig, so he needs to stop doing it.
Sure do, but he's having a good time with it, and I'm having a good time with it.
I'm having a good time. I'm having a ball, you might say. Don't stop him now.
Not having good luck with that. Nice Zebatite glitch there from SuperNinTaylor. All right, and as Wild said, oh, he has a lot of supers actually.
Yeah, okay, wow. All right, so yeah, he has plenty. I wonder if he had way more than 35. But yeah, he's got tons. All right, so that actually saves him quite a bit of time, actually not needing to break all the Zebatites and come back. And so they didn't get a key in their first chest in ice, so they can't do like a nice check some of those later items quickly.
That's true. They could maybe get one at Freezor room, and then
go back down.
Go back up the stairs or whatever. Yeah, there is an option there, but it's still a little tricky.
Or up, yeah, I guess upstairs.
SuperNinTaylor missing a couple of missiles. But
he has a little bit of leeway. He had like 40 supers or something, so like he has a bit of leeway with his missiles. I think he's definitely fine. They're already on the catch-up phase, and from catch-up phase would be 45 missiles. Yeah, so he's done it. He has made it through.
Very nicely done.
Good man, doing stand-up anyway. Even without charge, you can still save time.
I mean, these are some of the top players in this combo randomizer, so you don't want to give them even a second off of you. Now, we know SuperNinTaylor is doing pretty well, considering, you know, the other 3 players we see on the screen, but still all the same. Gotta save as much time as you can.
And even though he got locked back down again, if he wanted to, he could use X-Ray and stand up again. But I guess he's not doing that. But stand up is always worth it, even if you don't have charge, because you can always save time. You can position the Metroid on the right-hand side of the screen as far as you can, and so that it like moves off screen but comes back immediately, so it doesn't like float around after detaching. It's marginal, but it is a time save.
Wesker realizing his misfortune here, having to do tile room.
I'm wondering if any of our players are going to make that gamble.
Oh, I guess that was the 4th bottle in ice. Huh. Okay.
Oh. Well, there you go. There you have it, folks. Got him.
Got there. And Breakdown is mirroring out? Huh. This could switch the lead. I thought Total was a little bit ahead of him. But if he's going off to TR...
He's going to the mountain!
Yeah.
He's healing an old man!
Unless he's going to Shaq Tool. That'll be a huge problem.
Oh, God.
I guess he'll get Plasma, but...
Please. Okay,
he's going to the mountain.
Up the mountain. He's going into TR. Nope, he's falling down.
Rip.
Oh, man. But NinTaylor, though, booking it out of here. Yeah, barely is not going to end up making that that sub 3, but still, though, with a seed like this, still did very, very well for himself.
Yeah, great routing, great execution throughout. I mean, just very consistent and very thorough as well, I would say, from SuperNinTaylor. A well-deserved, I guess, quote-unquote win for the stream here, but if all goes well, 2nd place. If no one snipes.
Absolutely.
And there's the choice to save the animals, too, but
there's
not what you want to be doing in a tiebreaker race like this.
There's money on the line here.
The animals? How much are the animals worth, Wild?
0.
Wow.
0 amount.
Rip.
Negative amount. You need to... Just negative.
Well, with that, SuperNinTaylor is done and has finished with an official time of 3 hours, 1 minute, and 33 seconds. Congratulations to SuperNinTaylor. He will be our 2nd of these tiebreak players to get into the top 8 to join OC 101, who did come first in this tiebreak race. Solsky and Streiser, who were 5-0 and had already advanced into the top 8. So, well done.
All right, 2 down, 5 to go. Total finishing up Ice Palace, and Breakdown making a crazy play to leave Ice in the middle of it and come into TR.
Pretty crazy play when Sahasrara is available as well, but it's the right one. Total pretty low on hearts here. Uh-oh. He has a fairy.
It does not look as he does.
No. Well, this could be a blessing in disguise if he bails.
He's bailing!
He's
oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
Okay. Could be good. Breakdown's not too far ahead of him. Maybe just a couple of minutes here. Nothing that can't be overcome by a tile room check immediately.
Oh yeah, that can save tons of time, the GT routing, but also...
Oh, but...
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Total, what are you doing?
What is he doing?
Hasn't he checked all of SM?
Oh, it's the pantry!
Oh, no!
Oh,
no! Oh, God. No, Total, please. Don't do
At
this.
least he realizes that it's there. We didn't think that that was on the table for him.
Oh, no. Oh, God. And there's that fire rod for Breakdown.
And it looks like we actually have SuperNinTaylor here with us now to chat a little bit about this this seed and this tiebreaker race. Congratulations!
I am here indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats, dude. How does it feel?
Good actually. Like, I mean, I felt like my odds were pretty good having to be top 6 out of 7, but it feels nice to have it over with and can just relax and not worry about it.
Absolutely.
And finishing in the front of the pack too, really nicely routed and executed all throughout. We were really impressed.
Yeah, I felt I routed that pretty well. A few brain farts here and there, but yeah, I routed it pretty well. That TR play, I was hesitant at first. I was like, should I make the play? I was like, let's go for it, and it worked out.
Absolutely, yeah. And I want to know, getting towards the end, once you had made the TR play and you're in go mode, did you know your ammo situation? Like, did you know that you had enough supers, or were you continuing to check things to just get like a little bit more ammo? Because we were unsure of your total super count and we're wondering what your play was going to be there.
I was actually kind of unsure what it was too. The last time I remembered, it was like around 35 or something. And I was like, I have no idea where I'm at, but I'm going to go mode this and just hope I keep running into supers along the way. So that was basically my plan. And if I didn't have enough supers, then oops.
Yeah. Yeah, the last time we saw it was around 35 as well. You had 90 and 35, and 90 and 40 is exactly enough if you break all the Zebtites and the glass, go back and refill your missiles, and then do both. But then you end up in Turian with like 110 and 60 or something, and we're like, oh, okay, so he's fine. So,
well, Ganon's tower, I think, worked to your advantage. The tile room was the big key, because you checked everything else and you found a couple super packs and a bunch of missile packs. That
did help
the
a lot.
cushion. Yeah.
I was kind of hoping for a late key too, because I knew I needed a bit more ammo, or I thought I needed a bit more ammo. I wasn't sure exactly where I was. I was kind of crossing my fingers there. But once I like reset and refilled my ammo, I was like, oh, good. That should be plenty enough.
Well, you got your late key, that's for sure.
Yeah. Man, Aussie must have god routed this, or just played really well, or both.
Yes, we have total now. He has now gotten into TR. Wesker doing his
Ganon. He just saved and quit out of the first chest in TR, which he could have advanced.
He could have.
This could be really bad for total here.
Wait, oh no.
I think he's going back to ice now.
Oh.
Which total and breakdown made the full swamp dip, and then breakdown made the YOLO leave out of Ice Palace in the middle of it to go up to Turtle Rock, which definitely has paid off because now he's in go mode and he's doing well and fighting Trinex. But
yeah, coming from
Wesker actually was the first in go mode, interestingly, and is fighting Ganon right now. So he made a big leap of faith and it paid off.
Yeah, and Wesker actually, he missed the sword at Terminator. So he's only on 2 swords. Like coming out of Gauntlet, didn't pop back in to grab that sword. It looks like Total's gone back to ice as Breakdown finishes up TR here.
Yeah, I think coming from a Super Metroid background, Total might have his knowledge of the key logic of Turtle Rock might be a bit limited. Because I know like one of the sayings is Fire Rod has to be in the first chest, but I guess he didn't realize he could maybe go a little bit deeper with the keys, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, like we were saying, Alu and I were talking, you can get all the way to Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
If the keys allow, without Fire Rod. So yeah, that's tricky.
It's super tricky, and for a tiebreaker race like this, you gotta make every second count. But, I mean, tell us about your kind of decision process through the early part of this seed. Because you did find Morph pretty early. Like, did you want to just did you feel like just all the value was in Super Metroid? Is that why you went over to like Wreck Ship and?
Well, really quickly before we
sure.
talk about that though, I do want to say that we have another finisher. Andy just finished with a time of 3 hours 9 minutes 39 seconds. He was not being restreamed as he submitted a recording of his race, but that was the time that he received. So he finished up there. Anyways, yes.
Congratulations to Andy for a solid 3rd place finish.
Yep.
Yeah, as for full clearing Super Metroid, I knew I had pretty much everything to full clear the game. Well, I'm trying to think. I went to Wreck Ship. I didn't have gravity or speed yet.
Right. but you had a grapple, which did give you logical access.
Yeah.
To the Wreck Ship.
Yeah, it was kind of like a fork in the road. I had various. I could have either gone to Bubble Mountain, or I could have gone up, and I don't know, I just felt I left too many holes, so after I did Crate, I was like, I should probably check these few locations like Spazer and X-Ray. I was like, you know what, I can just route this all the way up to Wreck Ship, get that over with, and if I need to, I could hop back into Link to the Past and save and quit to the mountain and go right back to Norfair. It was just the way I was thinking about my routing. And then I found the gravity. I was like, holy crap, I can full clear this game. Then I found the speed booster. I was like, holy crap, I can full clear like literally everything in this game.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I felt probably better just to full clear everything in this game and try to get more for Link to the Past so I don't end up leaving too many holes in Link to the Past and having to backtrack.
Yeah, it was really interesting seeing both Grapple and Various Suit in Thieves Town, so it kind of like forked you into 2 different directions. And I know Total went into Norfair early and kind of, I think, you know, he actually found gravity, but then left and didn't continue through the Wreck Ship because I think he was, you know, hesitant without Speed Booster.
Yeah.
But I think believing in Wreck Ship was kind of the big play that put you ahead and
yeah, I'm not
as well. He was also on that path.
I'm not too scared of going to Wreck Ship without the Speed Booster because even if you can't get the item, you at least get the knowledge of what it is. So in a way, you kind of like see every item on that side.
Right.
So I don't know. I value knowledge.
Yeah, the knowledge is great, and like it's 1 item out of 316. So like it's not. Yeah. Your chances are pretty good. You know. Yeah. So Total just finishing up Ice Palace. I can only imagine he's going to go turn that green pendant in. As Breakdown is about to head on into Ice Armos. Oh, which reminds me, SuperNinTaylor, your bomb to blow up the floor going down to Ice Armos. Like
that was Monka S.
That was crazy. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna blow up when he's on top of it. He's not gonna check that chest, and then it ended up being a super pack, which is actually really helpful for you too. But yeah. Wow, it was like just barely far enough away, I guess, to not blow the wall or the floor up. It was crazy.
Yeah, I kind of forgot my setup there because I've been doing a bit of NMG lately, so usually you skip that chest. And then I got halfway through the room, I was like, oh crap, what do I do again? And it kind of fumbled, and I think that's why I mistimed it. And yeah, I thought I was going to miss that too, but I was glad I didn't. Even after seeing what it was, I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't miss this.
We just got a really nice Metroid skip from hcfwesker here. Props to him. That is a hard trick to do.
Yeah, I don't even try for that. I still need to practice that.
It's not easy. And he's been having some really good Metroid rooms too, so well done. What would you say was kind of the hardest part about this particular combo randomizer that we played today?
I mean, usually I'm more experienced with Link to the Past, so usually Super Metroid is kind of where I fumble. Sometimes I'm usually really slow at like Norfair Escape or something. But this seed was like so friendly with E-tanks early on that it was just so trivial now. So it's hard to think of what the toughest part would have been.
I think we were counting, and you got literally all of the E-tanks. I think you were the first one here to have all 14.
I can't think of anything specific that was difficult. I don't know. I think I just ended up routing it pretty well and playing fairly decent too. I don't feel like I struggled with too much in this seed.
Well, yeah, you were really thorough too, which I think was really beneficial for you.
Yeah, that was kind of my plan coming into it. With 6 people, I figured if someone's gonna lose, they probably made a huge mistake or just skipped one item that they never went back to. So I was just making sure not to leave any holes.
That's a really good mindset to have, actually, for this.
Yeah, and I'm confident enough in my Link to the Past skills that I felt like even full clearing I should be able to keep up.
So, I mean, you are moving into the top 8 here. We've got, $400 for first place. How you feeling?
It's gonna be tough. I mean, the money would be cool, I guess, but it's really not even on my mind. Like, I guess it's a decent chunk of money. I'm mostly just doing it for fun, though, so if I advance, that'd be pretty sweet. If not, then, I don't know, I had fun getting as far as I did, making it to the bracket stage. But, yeah, there's a lot of good players in the bracket stage, so I don't really have any expectations.
Well, you're definitely one of them. I mean,
yeah,
I saw you throughout the tournament, and you've been making some plays and doing them really well, so...
Yeah, who knows, maybe I could pull it off. Get the big... I was gonna call it the big 20. The big
20?
Big lots of 20s.
Yeah, they're really big 20.
20 of them.
The big 20, big 20.
Yeah.
Total did get his fire rod now, did some frustration slashes, but he's on his way. He is, he's in his go mode as well.
That's a bit unfortunate. Be kind of tough to catch up at this point, but you never know. Something happens with Breakdown and they make it to Super Metroid fairly close. I know Total can make up a lot of time in Super Metroid.
He sure can, but man, it'll be tricky.
Yeah.
Breakdown is already in the gauntlet right now, and he does have Charge Beam as well. So,
and he's got those silver arrows.
Mm-hmm.
As Wesker is on his escape, he's getting out here, looking to take number 4.
Oh yeah. Just looking at the chat now. Someone asking about Charge. No, I have no idea where Charge was.
It was at the Magic Bat.
Yeah, I never got around to that, did I?
Well, I think you were just blitzing crystal dungeons, and once you found Fire Rod, you're like, all right, I'm out of here, and it was fine. It worked out great.
Yeah. Yeah, if nothing was in Turtle Rock, nothing isn't. If the Fire Rod was not in Turtle Rock, I was gonna do that whole loop next. I was gonna get the bonk spot straight by Sanctuary, then I was gonna loop down to the whole Smith chain. I don't know, I'll take it as a plus that I didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah, I think that definitely helped speed you up. But yeah, the couple leaps of faith that you had to make in this seed were kind of what clutched it out. But there goes Wesker. hcfwesker has finished in 4th place with an official time of 3:19.16. Congratulations to Wesker here, GG. He will be advancing to the top 8 of the Super Metroid and Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Tournament.
Yeah, and we've got 3 players left with 2 spots remaining. We have the 2 here. We've got Breakdown and Total, and we also have Hitaka on the other stream here.
How about that left sand pit, though?
That left sand pit, though. What value? My goodness.
Oh.
I was a little bit unhappy to see the flippers, I gotta admit.
Well, I think when you have swamp and ice as pendants, flippers is the last thing that you want to do.
Yeah.
Right
in front of.
Oh, go ahead.
Right in front of grapple.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing you don't want to see.
Looks like we do have HCFwesker here, our 4th place finisher. Congratulations, Wesker, for moving on in this tournament and a great finish. Some
Man,
big plays.
Team Wildcard hype.
Nah, you guys were the hype ones today, bringing us some top quality.
Man, I appreciate it.
Entertainment and just a great race overall.
Oh no! Breakdown missed his spring ball.
Uh-oh.
Reset.
Man, that tempered sword.
Wesker, I gotta ask you, man. That sword, though.
It was right there the whole time.
It was right there, man.
Right there. Here's the thing. I've learned. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, going through. You're never gonna miss that one again, are you?
No. And I'm used to doing meme route through retro brand and back up green brand right there. Check the back of gauntlet. But when I got the early bombs, I just went that way. I know to go through that door when I come down, but you just go in pilot mode or autopilot mode, and yeah, that was awesome to find at the very end when I didn't need it. But like I was gonna say, I've learned Master Sword Silverless. Like I've learned it, but I've never actually been forced to do it. That's my first time in a seed where I actually just went with it. So yeah, I packed up the fairies and everything. So luckily it worked out. It was garbage, but it worked out in the end. Yeah,
I mean, you made it through. You know, you're moving on, right? Like, how does it feel?
Man, I had no expectations to make it this far, but man, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I mean, like, killing it, man. And there's gonna be some serious competition, but you know, like, it's gonna be good. It's just more awesome combo entertainment coming our way.
Oh yeah, we'll try and bring the best. I gotta ask, who else made the early Turtle Rock dip? Because I felt like I did that pretty good when I was up there.
You were actually the first one to make a couple interesting dips. First off, like in Eastern Palace, you know, a lot of people took Morph and just, you know what, I'm going to Super Metroid, and you got SM bombs, and that led to Bow, which was really exciting. Like, we saw you kind of pushing your advantage a lot, and then when you made that TR play, you were actually the first one on the restream to get into Go mode, so that was
nice. Okay,
a real treat to see.
I knew I was in Go mode at that point, but of course I was checking some close spots on the way, hoping for that sword, and my god, it was right there the whole time. Just had to go through one door.
I do also have to say that Hitaka has now finished in 5th place, my apologies, with an official time of 3 hours, 22 minutes, and 43 seconds. So congratulations to Hitaka. It is now down to Total and Breakdown. And Breakdown has a pretty significant advantage. Pretty hurt here on Ganon, though.
Half a heart. But, yeah, it's just that these two, if Total could make some crazy tile room decision here, that could bring him back. It's still going to be tight.
Does get the silvers, though. It's pretty nice. Which I'm sure Wesker was just thrilled to see.
Yeah, silvers was nice to get right there. And also, because I watched the match last night with Willard J. Bradley, where he just went straight to tile room and it paid off. I was like, man, I want to try, just get Chad a little hype. But of course, I wussed out and just went with the normal Dark Magician strats.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always gonna be those seeds.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was expecting this to be like a admin plan seed, where it's gonna be like Aga, pedestal, shack tool, tile room, just everything you can imagine. But nah, the seed wasn't really that bad. That fire rod and turtle rock, I'm sure that trolled a few, but when I'm up there and I've got the cane and I can get in, I do. I always make that early play, even if I don't have ice rod or fire rod, because turtle rock will troll. It's almost always a double dip in my seed, so I always just make that play. It was pretty ecstatic.
Well, we were actually concerned. We were concerned for a while about, you know, kind of the mid game when you and Total like were kind of just shying away from the wrecked ship, and that was really like the kind of the play that I think put SuperNinTaylor ahead, and for a while Breakdown, because they were really just following the clues. And just kind of beating everything in order, more or less.
I got something out of logic. I'm trying to remember. I think I got mirror out of logic because I went to Croc without speed or wave beam. But I wanted to play those plays. I want to check those mirror checks, even though it was out of logic. I was just hoping breaking that logic was going to lead, and I did. I went all around the world checking those orphan mirror spots, and not a single one of them paid off. And I think after that's when I made the play to wreck ship. And yeah, gravity, speed, quake, yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, the thing I think we mentioned real briefly when people were checking TRs, if you're up there and you can get in, you know, it's without fire rod, you could just get locked out very quickly. You know,
yeah,
so
that's
not.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
That's what I bank on too, is just either I get an item, I can't go no further, or if I get a key, might as well just dig a little deeper as far as you can get. But yeah, that fire rod after the pokey key. And then I kept going, I was like, oh wait, I gotta get the big key. Now that's when I mirrored back and did the dungeon fully. But yeah, like I said, it didn't feel like a bad seed. I can imagine that fire rod probably trolled a couple of people. And then getting flued out of there on the way out, that was nice too. Because I was like, okay, because when I was going to Croc, you could probably, I know there's 4 screens, you can't tell, but when I was at the door to Croc, I flipped back and forth like, should I lava dive to Lower Norfair or just check Croc? And luckily, that's when that flute came into play. It's like, okay, there's my Lower Norfair and all my Meyer stuff, so it's good to go.
That was the thing, like we were saying, especially like for you in that situation, the flute was super good for you.
Wait, where was flute?
It was in the big chest in TR.
Oh man.
Which you also didn't get.
Oh!
Yeah.
I was thinking about it too. I skipped that room and I was like, I probably should just go and check that just in case it was the small key. I was like, please don't be like charge or something, but I never even considered flute. That would have saved a lot of time.
Oh, if I would have had Temper Sword, I would have skipped everything. Because that was my go mode item, was Fire Rod. But I was still checking stuff on the way. Looking for Temper Sword, and it was right there at Terminator the whole time. That's awesome.
That's a rough one to miss.
But like you said though, like you just autopilot and like just go right past it, you know, like
yeah,
I think everybody's guilty of that. Like I'm guilty of that for sure.
Oh, I've seen it plenty of times. I'm like, how do they make that mistake? And then you do it yourself 2 days later. So yeah, I can't judge another runner anymore. That's what I've learned after running these.
But that does put you in the top 8 here. So how you feeling about the competition?
Oh, the competition is brutal, no doubt. I mean, I'm not trying to underplay myself, but you see this list of names, and I'm like, I'm Rocky Balboa in this. I'm coming out swinging now, so you know, I feel like the underdog in this. But it's pretty hyped to finish in 4th and have a chance to move on and see what comes next.
I know I'm definitely excited to see the rest of this and how this plays out, because like you said, this is quite the roster.
Oh yeah, a bunch of beasts, and then there's me somewhere in there. No, I'm not trying to downplay myself that much, but it's just these guys like have constant sub 3s. I've gotten like 1 sub 3, and yeah, so.
But yeah, don't discount yourself because you really made some fantastic plays. You were the first to a number of things, including that fire rod. Which
I did. I felt good about that run. I would
Yeah.
say out of the whole tournament, that's my best probably run I've done. Like as far as routing wise, not getting too baited away and stuff. So yeah, no, I appreciate that, Alucard.
Yeah, we're definitely excited to see you, and of course, SuperNinTaylor, who was just chatting with us.
Yeah, we got a few of us that soon.
Maybe you guys will get matched up. We'll see.
Yeah, a few of us Super Metroid boys hanging in there. So yeah.
You gotta represent, you know.
Trying.
Do me proud, Wesker.
I'm trying, I promise. Man, I'm looking forward to watching the commentary back though. Whoa, wild card. That's just too good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play a shout out. I'm quite impressed with how you've been doing, Wesker. You know, you're just like recently starting to learn Link to the Past.
Well, I've played the Link to the Past randos, but I didn't get too hardcore into them.
Right.
And then I didn't start playing these until the 2v2 tourney came up. And in Ancient, we talked about, I was like, man, I'll partner with you. And we got wrecked our first match. We had no clue what logic was. We were trying to do hell runs, go to Croc without bombs. We had no clue. But then we started like, okay, let's see how this logic works, and kind of got better. So we've been doing a lot of 2v2s offline, and then this tournament came up, and I was like, man, I'll join with you. And yeah, it's been going somewhat okay for me so far. So yeah, kind of happy.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with the normal logic, I feel like Link to the Past routing might, I don't know, have a bit of an advantage over Super Metroid Tech. I don't know, it's hard to say.
Yeah,
There's so many more items in Link to the Past, and if you can just like gear up, then a lot of the Super Metroid things are actually pretty trivial, especially when you so many like efficient ways of killing bosses or quick ways like microwaving them or just using grapple to kill Dragon.
Man, that X-ray fail at Bot Wound. I don't know if anybody saw that. That was nasty.
And you had all the good stuff. I didn't find charge or the flute.
I think
Still
that
did
was at the
quite
door.
well.
Yeah.
Charge was at Magic Bat.
Yeah.
That was it.
But it looks like Breakdown has taken down Mother Brain and just is an escape away from the top 8 here. Total into Gauntlet number 2. Go ahead and spark through here. It's nice that you guys found like all the movement items in Super Metroid reasonably quickly.
Yeah, I think Super Metro was go mode at Wreck Ship or something. I mean, besides like Ice and Charge, but yeah. It was nice.
Yeah, we had a little chuckle about the high jump boots, about where they were.
Yeah, and it didn't come at a friendly spot. That climb with high jump, I just completely forgot how to do it. And just, man, that was, yeah, that's going to be a spot in the replay. I just skipped past that. Don't even watch it. But no, I appreciate y'all doing the commentary and all the restreamers. I'm going to go and get out here. My thing keeps disconnecting on me. I'm getting that yellow thing, so I don't know if I've got the robot voice going. But I'm going to go and take off because I know y'all got other people to interview. And just want to say I appreciate y'all commentating the match and Speed Gaming throwing this tournament and all the restreamers, the trackers. Tracking's hard. I'm with you, mind of me. It's hard. So yeah, but y'all have a good one. I sure do appreciate it.
Thank you for an exciting race, and we look forward to seeing you in the top 8.
Awesome.
Thank you. Good luck, man.
Oh yeah, thank you. All right, bye.
And with that, Breakdown has just finished with an official time of 3 hours, 34 minutes, 18 seconds in 6th out of 7th places, and unfortunately, Total being our final contestant here is not going to make it to the bracketed stage, but we all love him anyway, because without him, none of us would be here right now, because he is the man, the wizard, the magician who made this crazy combo rando happen. So can we get some some heart, some love emotes in the chat for Total right now?
Yeah, major congratulations to Breakdown, who is now with us here, and GG's to Total as well. I mean, looks like he's continuing on, but not getting Spring Ball.
Oh man,
I'll still thank him for making the randomizer. That's fine.
You know who else didn't get
He
Spring
done
Ball? Breakdown.
Did not get Spring Ball, no.
Did not get Spring Ball.
Where was it?
It was in the top right of the Helmasaur chest at GT.
Could have put it to so much use in Torian, but oh well. Oh, but what a seed.
But congratulations, man, making it in to the bracketed stage. How's it feel, man? Your competition is fierce.
It definitely is. In a little bit of shock disbelief. You'd have told me at the start of this thing that I'd even made the tiebreaker, let alone the bracket. I wouldn't have believed you. I'm actually quoted as saying after my first race, my goal was not to get swept. So yeah, I have no idea what to expect on the way in, but I'm still plugging along somehow, some way. I'll take it.
And you did a great job to make it through this race, because you were really just following the logic. And that was like one of the biggest things I think about this seed, was following the logic. And it just led you to value every step of the way.
I was trying to keep that in mind, definitely. Like, I'm trying to avoid the fake flippers. I was really wanting to run down Lamp before going too nuts in Dark Rooms. Like, I was ready to do some Dark Rooms, but then it showed up basically right after I got the flippers. Yeah, if not for that fire rod, I almost did call into Turtle Rock while I was up there the first time. I almost did it. But no, little voice in my head said, no, that's bad, so I didn't do it. And I probably would have finished like 45 minutes sooner or something like that if I had proceeded to like 100% the game from there. But, oh, nah, heart was thumping in my chest down the stretch there. I figured Total was breathing down my neck, but it's like we did most of the same stuff as minus green pendant.
Yeah, you guys at the very end there, you were both like up in Hera, similarly on Death Mountain, and decided not to do TR, and then you guys are basically one after the other. Total was maybe like a minute and a half in front of you, but you guys were doing the same things. You both went into Swamp, and you both went into Ice, and then you just pieced out of Ice in the middle of it. What made that decision?
My thinking there was basically I had one location on the green pendant and at least one, possibly like 7 in Turtle Rock. And if it wasn't in Turtle Rock, then I come back and go mode Ice, and I probably lost anyway. So I figured take that gamble.
Okay.
So, yep, that was the thinking there. So if it was in Turtle Rock, then maybe, just maybe, I had a shot, and it was in Turtle Rock. So a little mad at myself for not doing it sooner, because I thought about that like before I even went into Swamp, and it was just sort of like, we could just charge Turtle Rock, and maybe it's in there. And it's like, no, that's dumb. But it was right. It was correct in this spot. So
yeah, that worked out fantastically for you.
Okay.
It was perfect.
Yeah, because Total went through and finished Ice, and then went up into TR, but then checked the first chest and then left. Because we're not sure if like he was aware that you would be able to continue with that key, or SMZ3
He unfortunately died at Cold Stare, and so he decided to bail on Ice, and then he went up to TR and did that, and then went back to Ice, which was pretty tragic.
Yeah, no, that'll do it, definitely. Wow. So, but yeah, no, it was a crazy seed, and so things were falling together so nicely in the beginning, and then just running down that fire rod, and basically the last location did real close to it, like minus green pendant. I think I checked literally everything else, but yeah, no, in the top 8, I'd
was I popped in for the 15-minute delay. I was listening to Wesker talking about how he's considering himself the underdog. If he's the underdog, I don't know what I am. I feel a little out of place. I definitely don't think I'm one of the top 10 players in this thing, but I'm gonna be in the top 8 bracket, so I'm gonna bring my best game to that and try to make something happen. So Cinderella's going to the ball with her dancing shoes on. Let's see what happens.
Well, I mean, you played marvelously. Like, again, if it came down to the decision, I think you would have potentially finished ahead of a couple of these players had you made that TR play a lot earlier, I think. Because, there was a lot of time invested in going back places and, going back to Super Metroid, checking
waterway
and check, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, that all felt terrible, but it had to be somewhere. Just running down the last item can be rough, but that's Randomizer for you. And it's the way I see it in terms of me versus the rest of the field is I'm not sure if I'm a favorite against any of these players, but you play the games for a reason. Any given day, I got a shot in everything I do here. The skill gap isn't that large, even between me and the very top players in this. And it's a murderer's row here. We got some very good players in this top 8. It should be some good matches coming forward. Looking forward to watching the ones I'm not in and hoping to provide some entertaining ones.
Oh, and I'm sure you will. I really loved your routing through this seed. I thought
we kept talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the watch back, definitely. So
yeah, it like Ali was saying, it is really cool to watch you follow the logic the whole time. I think there was maybe one time where there was something that you did that was out of logic, but most of it was just entirely all following along.
Yeah, a couple of mock balls, and it got the early ice rod without the lamp, but I think that was really about it. So, but yeah, well, I mean, it's the logic's built in for a reason. It tells you where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. And it's you don't necessarily need to follow it to a fault, but you should at least pay attention to it.
Logic is meant to be broken sometimes.
Sometimes it is, definitely. Breaking logic can get you ahead, but if you're just not consciously aware you're doing it, can also get you in a lot of trouble. Because all of a sudden, you're the tail end of the logic chain, but you just don't think about it. You pick up something super late. Especially in this combo randomizer, following normal logic, and this is an exercise, definitely. And just there's all sorts of stuff that you can do, but in terms of what the game thinks you can do, it's very not one and the same. And yeah, it can get you in trouble if you're not careful. But I want to say thanks to the two of you, and thanks to Minding Me for the tracking, definitely. I got to cut this kind of short. I got to load up my car here and get on down to AGDQ. But
you and me both. Maybe we'll see each other there.
Definitely say hi. So I'll definitely be looking to play some of this, maybe scoop up some strats. I could definitely stand to level up my game a little bit here coming into the bracket. But to any of my stream viewers or subscribers or whatever, thanks for all the support. Really appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next week.
Right, congratulations again. Look forward to seeing you in the top 8.
Yep. Thanks a lot, guys.
Well done.
And we should say, which I'm sure many of you have realized, Total has forfeited from the race, unfortunately, but he is going to give us a little rave here to close out this tiebreaker race.
He is going to go out of bounds and trigger the escape cutscene, which I'm not sure if it works in combo or not.
Maybe he's doing some testing live right here for the combo randomizer.
And interestingly, you do need to do this D-boost back into the door to get stuck. You can't just get stuck in this door normally if you know anything about climbing out of bounds because of that slope block right above the door. If you get stuck normally in this door, that slope block will push you out when you are trying to X-ray climb. So the D-boost actually gets you back even farther than normal to get you behind that slope block. But anyway, Total did forfeit. He was awesome in this whole tournament. He's the reason why we're all here. Make sure to give him and all the rest of our runners follows. For just thanks for providing this awesome entertainment here. just being so good at this stuff. I think we're just about done then. Is there anything else that you'd like to say, Alu, before we wrap up?
I'm just laughing at Total's position right now, but anyways, I had a blast being here. It was an honor to work through this tiebreaker race with you, Wild, and see all these amazing players try their hand at this and or complete the seed or get trapped in criteria power bombs and die. But congratulations to all our players for their progress through the tournament thus far, and really looking forward to the top 8 coming up soon for this combo tournament. There's going to be some really, really intense games. I'm sure some nail-biter endings, so you don't want to miss any of that. It's going to be super exciting coming up in the next few weeks, so don't miss a single race. Be there.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Al. It's always a pleasure to do commentary with you.
Yeah, and big thanks to Death by Snoo Snoo and Mind of Me for tracking throughout this whole thing. Wouldn't be able to understand what's going on without them. So it's hard enough when 2 people are on the screen, but 4 people, we needed them desperately. So thank you. And with that, I will also say thank you to all of you watching and hanging out and having a good time.
Yeah.
Keep supporting Combo Rando and Speed Gaming so that we can have more awesome tournaments like this. But definitely look forward to some of these top 8 races in the coming weeks. But with that, I'll give Wild the final word.
Yeah, again, thank you everybody for being here. It makes everything just so much better to have such an awesome community for this awesome games, you could say. But yeah, that is it for us. Again, thank you for watching, everyone, and we will see you next mission.